Welcome, everybody, to the Shut Your Mouth Lounge. Episode number, I believe it is 73. Let me check. Yeah, it's 73.
Hey,
Woo! Yeah, first try. First try. It's me. I'm
well done.
Alex. I got with me the usuals. I got Volcano,
Hey!
Addy,
I already went.
Fuck, Pink.
Hey there!
The fourth member of our podcast, Fuck.
Here every week.
Hmm.
And our freaking guest appearances, Stinky Winky, freaking Nipsey, Lala, and Poe.
Wait. Now okay, if you're saying fuck as a Teletubby, I don't want to know.
Look, you haven't been cursed by knowing that there's a freaking Professor Snape X Teletubbies bloody fanfiction. I got.
Why do you?
I-
Why do you do this shit? No one's forcing you to do this.
Force what? Do what?
No one's forcing you to read that. No one forced you to know.
I didn't even look it up. It was this guy's adorable comment under a freaking thread I was reading, and then there it is, and I'm like, well, shit, and I couldn't not read it.
You couldn't not read it.
No, not read it. I couldn't unread it.
Ah,
By the time I realized where I am, I was too far deep.
there comes
Bloody
a certain
hell.
point where you're committing, I guess.
It's what it was called. It's the invested time fallacy or whatever.
The invested time fallacy?
Yeah, or whatever it was called. The one where the more time you spend or something impossible, the less likely you are to quit it because you've done it for this long.
I've never heard of that, but that sounds at least semi-accurate. With that said, I mean, divorce happens, so I mean, it's not completely the case. Yeah, how about that for a show intro? Yeah. We start with fuck the Teletubby and we end with divorce.
Seemed like a natural progression.
I think we've already got our episode title there. We start with Teletubbies and end with divorce. Ah. So, hey, we ain't got much topics today. So, hopefully you guys did some shit this week. Or at least Pink brought the memes for this week's meme hour because he was supposed to be in charge of that.
Yep.
Alright.
Get ready for 4 hours of podcast, a short one.
Yep. I'm in for the long haul. So,
The long haul will be when we'll do a charity stream, and it's gonna be just 24 hours of podcast.
I'm ready.
Alright. So, hey, the first thing, this is kind of a stretch for a topic, but apparently when Mortal Kombat 11 released, some files were left in on the Switch, which, this being NetherRealm, it could just be Ed Boon doing his thing, but files were left in for the 8 DLC characters. And it's 4 classic Mortal Kombat characters, well, classic, with, in quotations for at least one of them, and 4 crossover characters, which is following the same pattern MKX set. Unfortunately, none of them are Ermac. For poor Pink over there. Poor Pink. Addy over there.
Yeah, I know what an Ermac is.
It's an error macro.
Can you eat an Ermac?
Is an Urbeck an instrument?
Sounds like an appliance.
So, the 4 DLC characters returning from previous games are Shang Tsung, which we already knew because he was announced prior, Nightwolf, Sindel, and Oh wait, Sindel, Fujin, and Shiva. Hang on. Am I...
Fuji's not a true MK character.
Yeah.
He's crossing over. He's crossing over from the dead universe.
These are 9 characters. Is Shang Tsung not part of the combat pack? It took me this long, by the way, to count that it's 9, so feel free to doubt my math skills there. Huh. What? Maybe one of these is made up. Who knows? But yeah, get a load of that.
It's Nightwolf. Nightwolf is not coming back ever again.
Well, Nightwolf. Oh man, I'm kind of happy with this list because I played Shang Tsung and Nightwolf in old games, and I'm willing to give Shiva a try. Fujin and Sindel can fuck off, but you know. And Addy, I don't imagine any of these guys are anyone you'd even be slightly interested in, right?
Nope. I think I tried Nightwolf once, and that didn't get good.
Just do Shao Kahn shoulders all the time. That's how you win. And Lightning Bolt, because Lightning Bolt's a free combo.
Shao Kahn's shoulders, lightning bolts, and the freaking arrow shot that he had.
Yep. And you know they're really stretching when they pull a 3D era character.
Yeah.
None of these really, like, outside of Shang Tsung, none of these really seem like moneymaker DLC characters. Like, Nightwolf's got a bit of a distinctive look, and I guess Sindel's there for people who are into, you know, MILFs and all that. Well, she's closer to a... Is it a GILF in that case?
She's a MILF. That woman. I'd like to...
Probably, yes, but based off MKX's story, yeah, she's still dead.
I mean, let us talk, answer the question. Was Sindel ever alive? Was Sindel ever truly alive, rather?
Well, if you were married to Shao Kahn, that would... It doesn't seem like it'd be a good position. I forget, did Shao Kahn kill her on accident or something? Did she just kill herself?
I don't know.
I say that like Addy's the resident Mortal Kombat lore expert. So, yeah, it's a real money-making lot there. Good old Fujin from Mortal Kombat 4, remember that?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Shujinko and freaking Taven.
Oh, Taven would be the worst. Taven would be the... I don't get them. For some reason, the Mortal Kombat community of now really loves the 3D era characters. I'm willing to wager it's entirely nostalgia, just because they grew up with them. They grew up playing Deadly Alliance, right?
What? Do you not want to play such classic characters as Meat?
Meat.
And freaking...
Drawman.
And freaking Mocap.
Suhao.
Mocap.
Jarek. Jarek's the one that gets me. Like, Mocap is objectively offensive, but subjectively, Jarek gets me. Because, have you ever seen what Jarek did? Jarek legitimately just has Kano's exact moveset, but they reskinned him as Jarek because they felt like they had to put in a new character.
Oh.
He even has he has both of Kano's fatalities. His 2 fatalities in MK4 are the heart rip and shooting lasers out of his eyes that make them explode. And Jarek doesn't have cybernetic eyes.
He's Superman. He's actually Kryptonian.
Hey, look, we got Superman once in Mortal Kombat, and it sucked then. Let's not do that again.
I'm trying to think of my favorite freaking 3D era character.
Kenshi.
No, I mean that sarcastically. I actually like Kenshi.
If you're going for unironic 3D era characters you can like, that's like 5 characters. If we're going for ironic, then it's got... Most people go for Suhao or Mocap. Oh, by the way, in MK11... Mavado! There we go, yeah. Was Mavado the biggest edgelord of the 3D trilogy?
I don't know. I just remember that I selected him once because he had cool armor and then he sucked. And I'm like, oh, I guess he sucks.
Oh, yeah.
Never played him again.
Wasn't his moveset built around bungee cords or something stupid like that?
I don't remember. What I remember is that he had all of these freaking banners on his back and like this big gigantic ass armor, and he just decided that slapping was his moveset.
Oh no, that's Hotaru. You're thinking of Hotaru.
Am I?
Movado was the guy who had the trench coat and only one sleeve. And it had the shoulder. He stole Cabal's hook swords. That was Movado's main thing. He had bungee cords and he had stolen Cabal's hook swords. Hataru was.
Yes, Google. When I write in Movado, I mean the bloody DJ.
Look, I understand Google's position here. I would if somebody had just brought up to me at random the name Movado, I would be like, well, clearly you don't mean the Mortal Kombat character. So who are you referring to?
Oh, so that's Movado.
Yeah.
Yeah. So who's the guy you said? Hotaru, right?
Hotaru, spelled Hotaru.
Yeah, I'm thinking of Hotaru.
Yeah. Hotaru.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I was just gonna add a little tidbit about Hotaru.
Yeah, I just remember because with Mortal Kombat, how I had it is that I played the first three. Technically, I played 1, 2, and Ultimate.
Which
then I
is
got
the
my
right way to
PS2.
go.
Yeah. Then I got my PS2, and the first game the first Mortal Kombat game that I got for it was Armageddon. And that had everyone from the 3D era.
Yeah.
But they didn't actually put in more movesets. They just split people apart. Lisa, but yeah.
Armageddon I think was also my starting point for 3D era. That is the wrong place to start.
Yeah, I remember being really disappointed in Ermac's fighting style. And then I got Deception and I'm like, oh wait, he has a good one in this one. Who did they give it to?
Everyone sucks in Armageddon. I don't know what... Armageddon is one of those games where I can't put my finger on why it feels bad. I don't know. I guess it's probably because it feels so much faster, and the 3D era Mortal Kombat was not built for fast gameplay. It was built for something a lot slower, like Deception.
I don't know. Everything about the 3D era games to me just feels sluggish, aside from cards and puzzle combat.
Yeah. 3D era was rough. I love how now Mortal Kombat 9, X, and 11, X especially, have all devoted themselves to fucking shitting on it.
Yeah.
Because they've only brought back so far as serious characters that they're actually willing to invest in. Kenshi, good choice. Quan Chi, good choice. Tanya, Baraicho, really? And 11 makes a odd but good choice for a 3D era character to bring back. You know who they bring back in 11?
Who?
Frost. You remember her?
I don't like Frost.
Right, but what they do is well, here's the thing. They wanted to make her different from Sub-Zero, so they made her a cyborg in this game. A lot of her novelty moves are her either using her head as a projectile, an explosive, or a battering weapon. And she also has attacks where she spins. Like, her upper half will just spin like a fucking top, while her lower half is still normal when walking forward.
She's meat!
No.
She's meat!
I am looking at this character, and I'm not thinking she's meat. I'm thinking she's fucking Elisa Boskanovich from Tekken 6.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's just Elisa's thing from Tekken. Throwing her head, using it as an explosive, that's her whole thing. Turning into a spinning top of swords. Because she even gets swords out of her arms like Elisa does.
Oh boy.
She's Elisa with ice powers.
So, not any better than 3D era Frost, really.
I'd say better because she's not near... The problem with Elisa is that she's clearly designed to be, Japanese robo-waifu. Frost does not have that going on at all. They're leaning very much into making Frost like the sociopath, where it's like, what did Sub-Zero see in her? Like,
Robo-waifu. That's what he saw in her.
One of my favorite dialogue exchanges. I love the thing NetherRealm does now with the little dialogue exchanges at the start of every match. One of my favorite ones is Jax versus Frost. And she'll go up to Jax and say, "Why'd you only make your arms mechanical?" And Jax says, "Well, my mom always preached about moderation." And Frost's reply is, "I killed my mom when I was 12. No one asked, but she was eager to say that.
And after getting soloed by Jax, she went and listened to freaking my curse, like Killswitch Engage.
Oh, I don't think Jax is nearly the block pressure guy he was in X. He's more of a command grab guy this game, which I'm happy with, but you know. And the heat subsystem, which is so good. Whew. Anyways, yeah, we didn't get to talk about the crossover DLC characters. So it's Joker, Terminator, Spawn, and Ash, which based off the dialogue system, we can assume it's Ash Williams. From Evil
Who was
Dead.
Ash Williams?
Evil Dead. Bruce Campbell in Evil Dead.
Think it's gonna be Ash from Siege. No hitbox whatsoever.
No hitbox.
She only has 2 moves. Shoot and shoot out the grenade launcher.
Right.
Yeah,
And she's got the ACOG.
if you land a hit on her, then you get hit. Your life goes down. Also, can I just say how much Persona is getting Joker not only in Smash but also in this game?
Dude,
Right. It's pretty wild.
when I first read it, I thought it was. Like, my first impulse was like, damn, they're pushing that shit. It took me a split second. Hang on, stupid. That'd be a little weird, seeing a Persona character doing fatalities or having fatalities done on them. I don't want to know what Persona characters would look like photorealistic.
Everything would switch to anime for that. Like, you wouldn't actually get the fatality; it would just load it on a pre-rendered cutscene.
Oh God. Oh man. So yeah, this is a good crossover lineup. The only one I'd say I'm at least a little bit unhappy with here is Spawn. And that's just because I'm not the biggest Spawn fan in the world, you know. Who is nowadays? Spawn.
Todd McFarlane.
Todd McFarlane's not a fan of Spawn. He's just a fan of Todd McFarlane.
I used to like Spawn's design, but then I was like, I don't like how he has one big leg.
Yeah.
So
Good old 90s designs, huh?
yeah, like I would like the design if not for the whole weirdly freaking what's the word I'm looking for? Unsymmetrical design thing it has going for it.
Well, hey, he's going to be semi-customizable in this game, so you can undo that.
You can give him a slight,
fuck.
you can give him a slightly different big leg.
We can, because the costume system, the skin system, they're gonna give medieval Spawn. They have to give medieval Spawn. I'll just take medieval Spawn. Fuck regular Spawn. Give me medieval Spawn. I will say, Spawn was a much better fit for Injustice, partially because he's a superhero, an edgy superhero, sure, but a superhero nonetheless.
Right.
And also, his power level fits a little better in Injustice. Because the thing about Spawn's superpowers, when I was a kid, I was confused what Spawn's powers were. And as a teen, I was like, oh, his superpower is he's just God. Okay. He's God with an ammo counter. That's what he is. Which means in Mortal Kombat, it's like, the other guy should just explode at the start of the match. It's the problem of putting Thanos with an Infinity Gauntlet into any of the fighting games, right? Because, like in Marvel 2, he had the Infinity Gauntlet, I think. So
right.
Why would he ever do this?
He's bored.
It does give them space for creativity with fatalities, though. I will say that. Hopefully they don't waste it by just giving Spawn a fatality where he pulls out a sword and cuts you up a little bit. Which sometimes they are wont to do. The classic question here is... The question I want to raise here... So there's always the problem when you're crossing over with Mortal Kombat. that whoever your character is, you have to be willing to let them get gruesomely murdered on screen in a variety of ways, ranging from the brutal to the hilarious. And some of these characters I'm willing to buy, like, whoever has the rights for Ash doesn't care, you know? Like, Evil Dead just everywhere, and they'll let Ash do all kinds of humiliating things. You can see Ash getting punched in the head so hard his head slides out his ass. But that happening to Joker, I'd feel like DC would have more brand protection. I mean, don't get me wrong, if there's any DC character to put in Mortal Kombat, it's Joker. There's no doubt about it. And I mean, he'd have a different playstyle from the rest, because assuming he's just going to have his Injustice moveset copy-pasted, right?
Right.
And Joker in Injustice, well, he's super underpowered in Injustice.
Bottom tier.
Yeah. Like, the best thing that happened to Joker in Injustice was the introduction of Gorilla Grodd and Captain Cold, because it meant he was no longer the bottomest tier in the game.
So what you're saying is that they should put in Joker's skin and just copy-paste Harley's moveset.
Well, I'd kind of like that better. Particularly if he just kept the animation, so he kept like... Oh,
yeah, I went with the animations.
Yeah, because I'm thinking of that stance Harley has where she'll sit on the ground and try to make the coy girlish pose, and I'm imagining Joker doing it. And the great thing is, it's Joker, so it still fits in character.
Yeah.
Right.
It's gonna be weird. It's gonna be weird
Yeah.
after all these years of like PG-13, T-rated Joker. Joker's gonna have 2 fatalities in this game, and they're probably gonna be pretty gruesome.
They just give him the freaking MK versus DC Universe fatality again.
They should, because that fatality was actually good. But they should uncensor it. They should make it so that when Joker shoots them, their head explodes, you know?
Yeah.
Other than that, there's...
Or maybe since we have the freeze plays, make it so instead of actual bullets, it's still the banner thing that comes out of the fake gun, but it shoots through their head.
No, it shoots through their chest, and when the banner comes out on the other side, it's got the heart stuck on it. It's got their heart stuck on it.
Yeah.
He Tim Drakes them.
And the other fatality is just crowbar.
Okay, yeah, either crowbar beat down, either Jason Todd's them, or maybe they could have where he cuts off their face and puts it over his own. I don't know.
He switches faces with them. He cuts his own off, then he cuts the others off. He switches them around.
Oh, you know what the problem is? Shinnok had that brutality in MKX. He could rip off the opponent's face and put over his own. Oh. That was the best brutality in MKX, though, so I'd be glad to see it return in some fashion. And other than that, yeah, Ash is kind of a character of my childhood, because growing up I had the Evil Dead video games, never actually watched the movies. Terminator could be fun, could be awful. I'd assume it's going to be the Arnold T-800 and they'll hire a voice impressionist. Unless they actually just get Arnold, in which case 10 out of 10 game of the year. I would never not play as Arnold in Mortal Kombat. Are you fucking kidding me?
I kind of want it to be the other Terminator, the liquid one.
That
would be awesome.
Be
interesting to play as.
That would be awesome. But I don't think he's quite the iconic Terminator that people think of.
I mean, he's not, but he's also Metal Carnage.
Yeah. The problem there is, I think it would be too hard to render, like easily render him turning into a liquid and shape-shifting and all that.
Yeah, true.
With that said, it'd probably be a lot easier to get his actor to actually come in and voice the character than Arnold.
I don't know. I don't think Arnold's doing much nowadays.
Yeah, he's working on another Terminator.
I don't believe it.
No, he's actually working on another Terminator. Did you not hear about this?
I might have heard about it, but I definitely forgot.
It's Terminator 6. They're bringing back James Cameron. He's directing again. And they're bringing back Linda Hamilton as Sarah Connor.
All right.
Like, Genesis was so bad. Like, 3, 4, and 5 altogether were so bad. It's like they cannot. I was like, they cannot do anything to make me interested in this series ever again. And it's like, we brought back James Cameron and Sarah Connor. It's like, all right, you've made me interested again. Or more precisely, Linda Hamilton. Don't put fucking Khaleesi as Sarah Connor. I don't want to see that shit. Give me proper Linda Hamilton. But I will say, it's probably super awkward having James Cameron and Linda Hamilton working on the same set again. I can't imagine that's fun for any of the parties involved.
I don't know what happened between them.
Oh, you didn't know?
I don't know anything about Hollywood.
James Cameron and Linda Hamilton were married at the time of Terminator 2. And James Cameron cheated on her with a much younger woman, got a divorce, I think married that younger woman or married another woman, you know. James Cameron.
Hollywood stuff.
Yeah, and that's what caused Linda Hamilton's kind of decline, I think, because she went into depression because her husband cheated on her. And that's why Linda Hamilton didn't really have much of a career after T2, even though she was fucking incredible in that movie. And I'm dropping the F-bomb a lot today. I'm in a good mood. I'll explain why I'm in a good mood later. But what was I going to say? Anyways, back to that. Yeah, this is actually a pretty good DLC lineup outside of Sindel.
Yeah, but there's also 3 characters that we didn't name. Because you see, there's also environment name, story name, and game of the year. Now, who knows what type of character game of the year will be? Probably really good. Maybe overpowered.
Maybe just a bit overpowered.
Game of the year is like a walking copy of, I don't know, what's going to be the game of the year this year. Like, personally for me, it's probably going to be Devil May Cry 5, but it's not going to be for everyone else. But unless it's just Dante, in which case, 10 out of 10, I'm going to go to Ed Boon's house and I will shower him with money.
Game of the year is just a golden Ed Boon.
Golden Ed Ed Boon's fatality is he just throws Scorpion at you.
Yeah.
I love that Ed Boon's still providing the get over here's all these years later. You know what, Pink? You may not care about Mortal Kombat. There's a good note here. You can get a compilation. People make compilations for pretty much every character having all the fatalities done on them. So you can watch a compilation of Joker having all the fatalities in the game done to him. And there are some goofy fatalities in that game, man.
Oh, by the way, also going back to the Joker thoughts of it being the Persona 5-1. Imagine if it actually ended up being the Persona 5-1, but in this one they switch out his railguns for bubble blowers or something.
In complete reverse of what you expect with Smash.
Right.
Let's go ahead and segue that topic. So the Persona guys have been hinting at Persona 5R and Persona 5S. Persona 5R, we got confirmation, it's a re-release of Persona 5. Much like Persona 4 and Persona 3 got re-released, Persona 5 is getting re-released with some more content.
But can you feel the sunshine?
And there comes Persona 5S, where the light shines in, and Addy gets another game in his hall of weirdo games that nobody else plays. Persona 5S is Persona 5 Scramble, a Muso game. Unexpected.
Yeah, I did say that I wish that 2019 was the year of the Muso, so this is just the start.
Yeah, and this one's actually
all of your favorite games.
This one's actually made by Omega Force, the developers of Dynasty Warriors and Hyrule Warriors.
Oh, that's not good news for me.
Well, it wasn't going to be Capcom. What you want a Capcom Muso.
For one, yes. For two, I also kind of want more people to try their hand on Muso shit because everything is Omega Force and Koei Tecmo, and that's not good for the genre because it's just Koei Tecmo and Omega Force.
Yeah, it is kind of shocking. Like, I know Dynasty Warriors is like one of the most consistent franchises in gaming and will print money no matter what. It is kind of shocking, though, that Omega Force doesn't experiment more. This is the second time they've made a non-Dynasty Warriors Muso after Hyrule Warriors.
No, you're wrong.
I am.
Goddamn Warriors.
Fuck, right. Oh, how could I forget that one? I played that one. Oh, man. Anyways, yeah, I'm not a Muso guy, but I'll still keep my eyes on this.
But yeah, you go ahead.
No, you shoot.
So yeah, since this is the year of the Muso, as you can see, just get ready for all of your favorite games, going from shitty RPG tie-ins to shitty Muso tie-ins. I can already see The Witcher 4. You're just spawning on a freaking battleground, and there's 5 million people, and Geralt just whips his dick out, and everyone dies.
The ultimate weapon. He's kept it sheathed until now.
Yeah.
It's crossed the Godzilla threshold. Okay. Unironically, what would be the best franchise for a Muso game, Addy? Because I got my idea of what would be the best franchise for a Muso game, and I think Pink would
I
agree
mean,
with me.
objectively or subjectively?
All right, let's hear both.
Subjectively, Assassin's Creed, just because, I want to have my cake and eat it. I want to have my cake and eat it too. And also with the battlefield, with the army shit that they have in, honestly, they're actually kind of moving in that way.
Okay, now you've actually given me a dumb idea. Stealth Muso. You sneak up on
Yes.
10 dudes and kill them all at once with one slash of your sword.
No, it's an actual stealth game, but if you trigger a fight, then it turns into a Muso.
Well, then the question arises, why would I ever sneak if my character is this powerful? Which, amusingly enough, is a question that was also raised by Metal Gear Rising, which had a stealth mechanic, and you never used it because Raiden was just too much of a badass. Or Raiden, excuse me.
Yeah.
I'm having a reverse problem today. Because Mortal Kombat Raiden is Raiden. Rayden. And while it's spelled with an I, you pronounce it with the Y. But then Metal Gear Raiden is Raiden, but I keep reversing it and calling one the other, and it's killing me. But, okay, and now objectively, what is the best Muso's tie-in idea?
Objectively, I mean, honestly, probably one of those Souls games.
Souls, really?
Yes, because the gigantic bosses could fit in as commanders, just slightly harder commanders than the usual. The small people could still do a shit ton of damage to you, but you would also do a shit ton of damage to them, heaven or hell.
Well, I mean, yeah. My thing there would be, I think a big appeal with Dark Souls is how deadly one-on-one or just one-on-two or one-on-three fights can be. Dark Souls, more than any other RPG, tries to invoke like you are a semi-regular person trying to go on this adventure. And I think a Muso would miss the point of that. Because, I mean, you can get hurt by all means, but if you're going on the offensive, you're still one guy beating up 20.
Yeah, but the ninja rule.
Okay, so what I think would be the best, Marvel. A Marvel Muso game.
I think I agree.
Yeah. There are some characters that it wouldn't work, like Cap, but Hulk, Iron Man, Thor. I mean, in the Battle of Wakanda and Infinity War, Thor pretty much was playing a Muso game. You were there for that, Addy. You agree. You gotta agree with me there.
No, Thor was playing Smite. He was farming minions.
I have never seen that many minions in a lane. If I ever see that many minions in a lane, I'm shitting bricks.
Dude, he
I'm
was doing
turning
all of his
around.
Smite
That
moves.
lane is not for me. That lane belongs to the minions now.
But they were with what Thor was doing his Smite moves.
He did two Smite moves, man. If I see
He did like
if I
3
see
moves
Thor do a
altogether.
Quake, then I'll say sure. Or if I see Thor start doing the spin to win, then that's when shit will cross the line. Spin to win.
Yeah.
So yeah, this looks interesting. I will say, it's a little disappointing that this isn't Persona 5 Arena, but I'll settle for this. This is still fun. And the topic that was supposed to be second, but it's going to be third because we found a segue. Hey, new character for Honor. It's a new Japanese hero. It is the Sakura.
So, the name, it has a meaning. Since Sakura means cherry blossom, it's supposed to be it's supposed to signify how the character is supposed to be death.
Death or deaf?
Death. The guy in the hood with the
Oh, okay.
gigantic sight. Him, yeah.
Oh,
Because because from what I gather, big cliche symbolism in Japan is comparing life to cherry blossoms because they just come, they have their thing, and then they fade away instantly.
Then why is every anime character ever called Sakura?
because it's pretty.
Because it's pretty and it's death. Makes sense.
I'm going to have to step out for just a second. So, Addy, talk about this character, whether or not the kit's been revealed, that whole thing.
All right. So, the kit has been revealed, but I actually didn't check it. Oh, that's much because from what I saw, for one, I don't like the weapon personally, so yeah. But from what I saw, it's just okay. You're that woman. You have a gigantic axe. You're surprisingly agile, apparently, and that's about it. She doesn't really seem to have any new mechanics like the Vortiger did.
Right.
She's just the force to be reckoned with, and that's it. Which, eh. They showed a couple of her outfit designs, and the outfits are nice. I like them.
Any
Okay,
nifty
what
masks?
yeah.
Because the default one is kind of creepy looking.
Yeah, actually, the thing is, they revealed her face, but since they kind of wanted to go with the whole the face not being shown being a creepy thing. Even when you don't have a mask on, she has face paint. She has kabuki face paint on.
Ah, that's cool.
Yeah. And other than that, I think she always has a mask. There's also I don't remember. I don't think that I actually heard what the Sakura's backstory is, but they did talk about the male version's backstory on stream, and the male version's backstory is that he was an executioner who was also an assassin, and assassin was the guy who sneaks in and kills people, not the Assassin's Creed assassin.
Right.
But yeah, and he got dishonored somehow, and so now he's here.
Now he's here for honor.
Yeah. So because of that, there's also an executioner outfit, and that's about all the news I know about the Sakura.
All right.
W could be back any second now.
Please hurry.
Yeah.
I was Googling up the Sakura for honor. I actually think I stumbled across his executioner outfit here. So it looks nifty.
Yeah. So, Volk, what are your thoughts on Sakura on your Sakura?
Yeah, wait a second. Why would they go through a detailed backstory for the male version of Sakura when the canon version is a female?
Because technically, how they're doing this now, since people have been asking for more story stuff, they apparently took we want more story. Please give us story DLC. Us we want you to write backstories to characters that don't need them. So now with year 3, all of the characters, both of their gendered counterparts, have different backstories. So Vortiger had one backstory, Erzabat had a different one. Now
Okay.
the Sakura has a backstory. I just don't know it. The male version of the Sakura also has a backstory. I know that one somewhat, but it's not really anything to care about, I don't think.
Is the male version of Sakura fine being called a cherry blossom?
He's called something else, but I have no idea what because I wasn't paying it that much attention.
I think
The
Sakura is
manly
still.
cherry blossom.
I think,
Cherry tree.
I think Sakuras can still be called. I think men can still be called Sakuras, can't they?
No, Sakura is a female name.
Ah. The So I assume then they haven't revealed anything about his kit.
They have. I just didn't watch most of it because they summarized it on the start that it was just she has an axe, she's agile, she has hyper armor. That's it.
Wait, what is hyper armor?
The one where you hit people and they go through it.
Okay.
Yeah, where you can't interrupt animations. The agile and has super armor. Both?
Yes, but not at the same time.
Not at the same time. So she can switch
I-
between being tanky and being fast.
Yeah, I should
No.
hope that she's not gonna throw out a bunch of lightning fast.
No, I
Yeah.
think she's more like freaking Uncle Iro. Jungjun, there we go. That's his name.
That's exactly what we need.
Yeah, from what I get, she's a lot like Jungjun, but less dancey. So hopefully she's less focused on freaking dash attacks. Who knows? And yeah, the name of the class is not actually Sakura. It's Hitokiri.
Hitokiri.
Hmm.
Yes,
Can you spell that for me?
Hitokiri.
Alright. That's how I imagined it. Okay. So, yeah, the axe looks a little dumb.
Yeah, I actually like I watched the stream and I said that maybe I will like this character since I liked the teaser images and shit like that. And then I watched the actual gameplay and then I saw the teaser and I'm like, eh. So I decided that I won't be spending more time in For Honor than I would usually, which
Yeah.
actually I actually stopped playing For Honor a bit.
There's only so much time you can put into one game.
Yeah, especially since I was playing alone at
Yeah, against
It ain't
AI,
fun.
I don't understand how you do it. I can't spend too long against the AI and For Honor. Like, I don't know, For Honor AI just seems pretty easy to cheese.
It depends on the rank, but also like even going against people, it's just people who don't freaking get that you shouldn't just spam revive me and then respawn yourself.
That seems to elude a lot of people. Yeah. The thing that really gets me is you clearly spawn with like half health when you get revived. And it's very difficult to get health back.
I mean, not really. Depends on the mode. But in Dominion, if you die somewhere and you have your team has a point that they have taken, just go to the point. Has refilled.
Yeah. I mean, my thing is, like, I assume you're going to get revived in fights, which is probably the only reasonable place where you should get revived. I don't know. Stupid look or not, like, she might have a decent kit, or at least an interesting kit that'll be something different. And that'll be the main appeal to me.
Yeah, we will be able to check on the second since training mode adds them when they get released for the people who got the season pass.
Oh shit, she's coming that soon?
Yeah, and then a week
But they
later
haven't
you can
revealed her
actually buy
kit.
her.
She's coming that soon, but they haven't
They
revealed her
have.
kit. Oh,
They have.
I thought you
I
said
just
they
didn't
didn't.
watch it.
Oh, you just
No, I
didn't
said that
watch
they-
it.
Yeah, because they summarized it and I didn't care from the summary. Because it just sounded like, well, we took Shugoki and then made him more Jungjun.
Okay. Well, I can see that would unappeal to you from a perspective of I don't want to fight this character. Well, alright then. And for the last topic today, Overwatch is overhauling the custom game mode thing. Mabobber. What's it called?
Custom match.
Custom match. Well, I mean, it's like make a game mode, isn't it? Because now they're calling it.
I just said that.
They're calling it the Overwatch Workshop, right?
Right.
And it's gonna add like some degree of scripting conditions to put people under. The example they use in the little thing there is if you can make a condition where it's like if touching floor, then be on fire. You know?
Right.
And I heard someone mention a long time ago the idea that with stuff like this, Overwatch's entire idea is they're trying. It seems as if part of their whole thing is they want to build their own, like, Dota. Because you remember, Dota started off as just a simple, like, weird game, like, custom game mode for Warcraft 3, right?
Yeah.
I have no idea what Dota is.
Dota is the original.
It's like Smite, but
it's the original. Oh my god,
yeah.
We're both trying to explain it.
It's Smite, but an RTS.
And I mean, that's a pretty good explanation. It's the first MOBA. It's the first MOBA.
All right.
It was made by some guy named Ice Frog, and it was basically a mod for Warcraft 3. And for a long time, it was said Dota 2 would be a thing that would exist at some point. Valve eventually bought the rights to it and bought Ice Frog to work on it for a little while, though I think he's left the project now. And that's where Dota 2 comes from. And that's why Dota 2 fans are always like, well, thinking they're the originals, you know?
Right.
It's also why Dota 2 is probably the slowest of the MOBA family, you know? Because League is kind of stupid fast when you look at it sometimes. Sometimes explosions just happen and you're like, what the fuck? Someone got a pinza. I don't know how, but somebody did. Yeah. So this presents a lot of curious possibilities for Overwatch. I mean,
Right.
To me, this sounds like chivalry.
To me, this sounds like Overwatch is letting the fans fix the meta by themselves.
Well, that'd be interesting.
Can
Can they put in scripts like if pick Reinhardt, then shield health goes down by 50%? Because that would change things.
Look, Alex. All the meta needs to be fixed is to turn multiple character picking on again, so we could have 4 Mercies and a Reinhardt again.
Yeah, that's what we need.
And boost the healing by 25% so the Reinhardt just doesn't die.
Yeah, and also implement the thing that I said when we played Overwatch, that they should give Mercy lifesteal on the gun.
Okay. Someone take that picture of from Simpsons of all the people gathering around betting on a monkey fight, and put a bunch of Mercy heads over each of the people's faces, and replace the monkeys' faces with Reinhardt helmets.
I'm on it.
Like, there we go. That's Addy's plan for Overwatch right there.
No, my plan for Overwatch is to blow it all up, since I'm a Junkrat main, but...
Well, hey, if players make a new meta, then you can actually pick Junkrat and it'll actually be viable.
Yeah. I mean, I picked Junkrat with Pink's Elo, and it went fine.
The thing is, you assume that Pink has a high Elo.
Are you saying that I don't? I'll have you know.
Fight me IRL.
1v1 Rust, mate.
In Rust. Do people still play that game?
Probably, yeah.
So yeah, what I see here is the Overwatch devs are sick of having to make up new modes for the arcade, so they're gonna trust the community to do it.
Right.
Are most of them not already made by people, by the player base? Where do they get the arcade game modes from?
The arcade modes, they used to have that. You remember way back when Overwatch first released, they'd have like a week where there'd be the what did they call it? Gosh darn it!
Well,
It's like a mode of the week or something, where they just have some sort of ridiculous rule set. So it used to be like, this week's special mode, you pick your character and you're stuck as that character for the entire game.
Yeah.
This week's special mode, all healers, nothing else, just healers, or supports, as you should call them, or as they were called back then.
Which would mean everyone huddle around Symmetra while she does all the damage.
Right. So all those previous modes were put into the arcade mode as rotating matches. So it's kind of like having that mode of the week, but now all those modes are basically in the arcade section, which also changes weekly.
But can you access them semi-consistently?
Semi-consistently.
Huh. Alright. Yeah, this looks like a pretty nice change. This could offer some real ridiculousness. I'd assume it won't be anything like prop hunt level ridiculousness, but something along those. Hopefully
So, yeah.
it'll be something.
Yeah, hopefully the overwork workshop will be good.
The overwork warp. Okay, are we going for overwork watch shop? Is that what we're saying?
Yeah.
It's just Reinhardt selling watches. Torbjorn selling watches. There we go.
Yeah, Torbjorn's selling watches. No, Torbjorn is just security. Freaking. Do we have a Swiss character yet?
We do. Mercy.
Mercy's Swiss?
Mercy is Swiss.
Thought
She's the
she was
doctor.
German.
It's what you fucking expect. Their symbol is the medical cross.
Well, yeah, Torbjorn is the security with his turrets and Mercy's selling watches.
What did you expect the Swiss character to be? A character whose main ability is having Nazi gold? Is that what you're expecting?
I was expecting Antonio Cesaro.
Oh, man. Well, I think that's it for topics of this week. I assume we still don't know what's coming out on the channel.
No, in fact, I think I was unable to schedule this week beforehand, so you might have to schedule it live on TV.
Oh, shit. Well, who wants to do this, me or Addy?
You do, because
Right,
it
your
will
thing
take
is
like 3
fucked.
months for me.
Yeah. All right, live scheduling. Time to pad out time while I log into the old FOS account and switch accounts. Switch on over to the FOS account. I'm going to keep talking until I actually get there. Let me go on over to the Creator Studio. Let me see the, oh boy, it's taking a while to load. All right, let's take a look at the
What have we got in the bank?
We got,
We got money in the bank.
let's see.
We've got negative monies in the bank.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're paying Vince to not fire us.
All right, what we're going to do is we're going to,
Right, remember it's series on Monday, one off on Friday.
series on Monday, one off on Friday?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's see. On Monday, we're going to get... Let me put it on Monday, actually. At what time? 10:30?
11:30, I think.
All
Oh no,
right,
10:30, yeah.
10:30 on Monday. At 10:30 a.m. this coming Monday, we will get a new episode of... where's the playlist? There we go. A new episode Part 10 split screen of Rainbow Six Siege. Public.
Oh man.
It's actually part 9. I just didn't have the time to name it. Because
Quality.
part 9 got torched.
All right. Part 9 will be in the abyss. All right.
Yeah, part 9 is the freaking Polybius of FOS videos.
Oh no, we don't have any one-offs in the bank.
Yeah, that was my issue as well.
You know, we might have to film a one-off after we're done with this podcast.
Let's do that.
Just so we can have something.
Oh, I have an idea for a one-off.
I also have several ideas for one-offs.
Okay,
Okay.
moving on.
Yeah, maybe for the one-off this week we'll do, I don't know, it'll be a surprise. Oh, more. Oh,
And its name is John Cena.
I went for Oh Boy and Oh My at the same time it came out with Oh Moy. Oh, yeah. Well, there we go. Hey, Pink, what'd you do this week, man?
Oh, this
Ma'am.
week.
What did you do this week, ma'am?
This week, I got a lot of recording done for Stronghold. I recorded about an hour of Rainbow Six, and my microphone cut off about 2 minutes in, so that's exciting.
Awesome.
Nice. Did you buy a studio mic yet, or?
No, it's just what are they? Blue snowballs?
Yeah.
That's about as close to a studio mic as you're gonna get. That's what I've got.
I mean, it depends. The Blue Snowball is the best. The beginner mic is what they say. The one I got is supposed to be better. I'm not sure.
Right. I'm certain there are plenty of better ones out there, but this is what I've got. This is what I'm rolling with. This is what I
the
quite
Blue
learned to
Snowball-
enjoy.
Yeah, the Blue Snowball is pretty good. Yeah.
That's what I'm rolling with, and it works for me.
And let's see, what else did I watched Guardians of the Galaxy, Part 1.
Still hold up?
And I still believe it to be the very best Marvel film that they have put out.
Really?
Yes.
Huh. I love Guardians 1. I don't know. So, objectively, you may be right. Well, no, objectively, I'd still say Winter Soldier is better. Subjectively?
Yeah.
Subjectively, I want to go for either Infinity War or, and here's a choice you're fully free to disagree with, because objectively I recognize it's a mediocre movie, but subjectively my favorite is Guardians Volume 2.
Yep, I'm not a big fan of Guardians Volume 2.
The thing is, Guardians Volume 2 is like, it was personal,
Right.
Yeah, character development.
I mean, not just character development, but like I saw a lot of it. I saw a lot of parts of my family in that movie. Is depiction of family. I like the central theme of family depicted in that film.
Right.
I
I
saw
definitely
it
enjoyed it
about
very much the first time going through it. It's just not among my favorites, and I don't know. I felt like a lot of it just didn't strike a chord with me as much as the first one did.
I mean, the biggest problem that Guardians Volume 2 easily has is the comedy writing.
Right.
There's too many
Absolutely.
Most of it I was willing to deal with. The one that takes me out every time is Drax's famously huge turds. That's the one. That's the one I can't stand every time I watch it.
Right. He does have that extraordinarily humble line, though. I think that's one of the best they've had in the movie yet.
I too am extraordinarily humble. That one's got to be like one of the top 10 for the series as a whole. The other one,
Right.
my favorite one, I have Infinity War, and I will watch through Infinity War. It's solely just for this line. Well, that and the fact that I love Infinity War. It's the fucking Wong, you're invited to my wedding.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those movies are good. So, with Guardians on the rewatch, what would you say strikes you as the best aspect of the film?
I would have to say it's the plot that I really enjoy the most, because I don't think any Marvel film previously or since has done the MacGuffin like Guardians did. And because it's bringing all these random characters from across the galaxy together because of this stone or the bounty on Quill, it's just everything ties together very neatly. And it feels very concise. There's no extraneous nonsense going on. It's just a very concise film.
I'd say one of the things with Guardians 1 is the MacGuffin feels more important than the villain does.
Yes, it does. I agree with you there.
I will say I think the major thing that taints me with Guardians 1, well, first of all, is that Gamora didn't get the character development she got until Guardians 2, which means that she's the odd woman out on the Guardians because she's so bland.
Right.
And Nebula, too. Nebula also was a very forgettable character in the first movie. And then Guardians Volume 2 and Infinity War made her fucking great.
Right.
But my chief problem with that is I've only read 1 or 2 comics that have Ronan in them. But Ronan's a really fun character when he's used in the comics. And he is one of the biggest examples of bland, pointless villainy in the movies.
Right.
Like, I wouldn't say he's the height of bad villains in the MCU. I'd say that's Yellow Jacket. But he's close. He's close.
Yeah, I definitely feel that there are missed opportunities with Ronan. Doubly so because he's been used twice now. And neither time he's really had his moments to shine.
And they got Lee
Like-
Pace.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I've never watched a Lee Pace movie that I've enjoyed, and I've never liked Lee Pace in any movies, but he's got a good reputation. Because the only other Lee Pace movie I've ever watched was Hobbit, which is not a good place to go with Lee Pace either.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Oh, and there's also, oh man. Oh, Ronan's second in command, the guy who was also playing Shazam in Shazam now. And he played the Fishman in Aquaman.
Right, it's...
Oh, Mike's gonna kill me because it's one of his favorite actors. He was in Blood Diamond with Leo DiCaprio. And wasn't he in Gladiator too? Son of a... Oh, I'm looking it up. I'm going to Google.
I've got his name right here. I just don't know how to pronounce it. It's like Daimon Honsu.
Oh, yes. Well, I think there's a J there,
Demon.
isn't there?
Yeah, it's DJIMON.
I'd pronounce it Jaimon Honsu, but that probably means it's wrong.
Mhm.
Jaimon Honsu. Yeah, that works. But yeah,
Wait, why is he in all the DC movies?
I don't know. I saw that pointed out the other day. He was in 2 in a row. It's the same universe. It's 2 in a row. Because he's he was one of the fishmen. I don't remember who. And he
Played
was
the
Shazam.
role of the Fisherman King.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not minor characters either.
Right.
It's Shazam, the wizard, from whom the superhero takes his name.
How did they not realize they made that mistake?
I don't know.
You've got the same actor in 2 movies in this connected universe, but not playing the same character. Like, at all.
Admittedly, Marvel made a vaguely similar mistake, but it's just because of the disconnect between the cinematic and TV universes. Because Alfre Woodard was in both Civil War and Luke Cage. In Luke Cage, she's the villain Mariah Dillard. In Civil War, she's the distraught mother who, confronts Tony after his big display and convinces Tony that superpowers are bad. Simultaneously,
Right.
Clancy Brown, the wonderful Mr. Krabs, has been in the MCU twice because he was the villain of Daredevil Season 2 because he was the blacksmith, right?
Right.
Right.
And which then carried over and he was one of the villains for Punisher Season 1 in flashbacks. But he also voiced Surtur in Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Which
I
he
don't
did.
think voicing a character is quite as bad as having his face on the screen.
No, it's not, but it's notable. And boy, Surtur does not sound like Mr. Krabs at all. That's fun. So anyways, yeah. What else did you do this past week, Pink?
Outside of everything I listed, I think the only other thing I've done is watch Endgame.
And are we gonna even bother with talking about that this week?
Not until you see it, buddy boy.
Yeah.
Has Volc not seen it either?
No, I saw it.
Okay. Well, I mean, technically what we could do is we could do the old thing where me and Addie both, deafen ourselves until you guys put in the chat you're done talking. Oh, wait, I can't deafen myself, right? I have to take my headphones off.
You can deafen yourself, dude. You just need a screwdriver.
Well, no, I gotta take the Hawkeye method and get a sonic arrow. I gotta go full with this Marvel shit. Oh, man, that's the saddest thing about Jerry Renner Hawkeyes. We'll never get that moment, Because that's the single most badass Hawkeye moment of all time. No, I always thought it was neat that Hawkeye had the hearing aids afterwards. I always thought that was a neat thing to have to add to the character,
Right.
And it's good for the kids, too, because, deaf kids
Yeah.
need hearing aids. It's nice to see a superhero on the screen who needs hearing aids.
Exactly.
All right. So, nothing other than in-game and Guardians?
Nope, I don't believe so.
All right, Addie, what you been up to the past week?
Right, so a new DLC for Assassin's Creed Odyssey released, and I finished it in 2 days. Because I have the season pass, so I get everything for free. Yay!
Okay.
Yeah. This new arc, because I can't really call it DLC because it's an arc. It has episodes. This new arc is called The Fate of Atlantis, in which you go to heaven.
What?
You go to Elysium.
Okay.
Yeah, and you kill Hermes.
Okay. I mean, Hermes was a stupid bastard anyways. Nobody liked him.
Also Persephone.
Oh, you killed
Why
her.
would you kill Persephone?
Yeah, she just
What'd
had
she
a
ever
hard enough
do?
life.
You kill Persephone because she's being a tyrant and not letting you out.
Just wait a few months, then she'll go back to hell, and then you can go out on your own means.
I think her whole thing was like she's so good that she tames Hades, wasn't it?
I don't think Hades ever needed taming.
Oh, that's gonna be my new pickup line, Pig. Come on, girl, show me your titties.
No.
Somehow
I
I don't think that's going to be effective.
Probably not. I mean, I think all in all, Hades was pretty benevolent in all the mythology.
Were any of the Greek gods benevolent in the mythology? Even Hercules killed his kids. Under the influence, sure, but he still did it. It's always a fun day when we talk about those guys.
Yeah. So basically, this whole thing is because something piece of Eden, you need to go to heaven while you're still alive. so
Don't mind if I do.
yeah, so freaking random as probably some other religious god shows up, and then they're like, okay, here's a door. And you walk in.
What other religion's
yeah.
god?
She's called Alicia.
Well, what? Okay, I don't know what Elysium or Elysia is. Pink, you're our Greek mythology guy. What the hell is Elysium and Elysia?
Elysium is the heaven type thing.
I thought that was old Mount Olympus where all the gods were.
No, that's entirely different. Dead people don't go to Olympus.
Yeah, Mount Olympus is heaven for the gods. Elysium is heaven for the people.
Okay, I thought all dead people. Okay, Addie, Volc is ripping open a candy wrapper here. I thought all dead people in Greek mythology went to Hades.
No, apparently, according to the notes in Assassin's Creed, the people who were deemed heroes could go to Elysium.
Right. And I'm pretty sure Hades has dominion over both Elysium and Tartarus.
Huh.
So yeah, Alicia, who is I'm like I said, I'm not sure if they're some other religious god or if they're just some Easter they made up, because they could be. Because in Assassin's Creed modern day, every god is an Isu. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, they show up with the hologram. They're like, well, you have this stuff that makes you immortal, so you're gonna need to train. Go to heaven. So they
The
open
only
up
way
the door.
to train you with this staff is for you to go pimp slap God, I'm afraid.
Yeah. So you go through the thing, Persephone attacks you with an army, and then you meet up with Hermes. Things happen. You meet up with Adonis, who is supposed to be Aphrodite's lover. Also, freaking Aphrodite. Bloody pronunciation. Yeah. Basically, the first episode's plot is you're in heaven. You want to get out of heaven because I don't remember what you need to go through to actually be able to wield the stuff that makes you immortal, but you do. So, yeah.
All right.
So you spend the first episode of the DLC in the rebellion of the living people, which is led by Adonis. You have to steal a horse from Hades.
Naturally.
Yeah. And other than that, it's basically God of War, Assassin's Creed Edition, only you don't get to kill the gods for some reason. I was this close to killing Hermes twice, and both times somebody stood at me and was like, "Don't kill him! No, he's my friend!"
Yeah. Hey, look, killing the other gods, you're probably breaking on some domains, cause some bad stuff. Like when Kratos killed Poseidon and it flooded the entire Greek coast in the Mediterranean. But killing Hermes, what's that gonna... Only bad thing's gonna happen there is that the gods won't get mail for a couple of years.
They'll just replace him. Hermes, you're dead, so you're fired. We're getting a new messenger.
I mean, no
Did you
one likes
message-
Hermes.
You essentially said to Oscar. They brought him off of freaking Helheim. Anyway. Yeah. Basically, the whole thing is just a depression contest between your character choice between Alexios or Cassandra and Persephone. And the whole thing ends with Persephone banishing you to Tartarus, and there's a teaser of Cerberus at the end.
Okay, so I assume this stuff's non-canon, right?
It is canon.
Okay.
There's modern day parts to it. It's canon.
What?
Yeah.
Assassin's
Because-
Creed took a left turn somewhere,
I'm happy
and they
with
have
this.
gone off the rails.
If they're going
Yeah,
with ancient times, this is the only way they can make it interesting for me.
Yeah.
I'm not an ancient history guy.
Yeah, so the whole thing is that the one who needs training is not just the historical character, but also Layla, who is the modern Dre. Yes, she's Dr. Dre.
Who's the modern Eminem?
Bloody Victoria, the doctor who follows her around. I guess. She is white and blonde with short hair, so it fits. Bloody. Yeah. So Layla is the modern day protagonist. And so Alexios had to go through heaven and all that training to, be able to wield the staff. And spoilers, at the end of Odyssey, your choice of character gives the staff to Layla. So now she has to go through hell, or heaven and hell and all that shit to be able to wield the staff as well.
Here, it's your problem
Yeah.
now. Deal with it.
So yeah, that's as far as it got. I think the next episode is going to be released next month, but I'm not sure.
So
But
it's
yeah,
full
that's
blown episodic.
yes. The last DLC was also episodic like this. It
Oh,
had 4 episodes. So yeah.
interesting choice. Do they add anything to gameplay?
Yes, they added new enhancements for a couple of abilities. So there's things like in the base game, you have an ability where you can slow down the game. You basically get bullet time. Well, before now, it wasn't really bullet time because you have like 2 seconds. So now they added genuine bullet time. For the same ability, you just turn it on to give you real bullet time, and then you just pull out your bow and shoot people in the head. And the more people in the head you shoot, the longer the bullet time lasts.
Really? That?
Yeah, I mean there's a cap, but still.
But you can't do like a bunch of chain assassinations while you're in bullet time.
No,
Oh,
I
I
mean
wanted to see.
you
I
can.
want to see some like reverse flash shit where you just see a blur and everyone in the room's head neck snap. You know? You know what I'm
Oh
talking
no,
about, Pink?
you can do that. You can do that otherwise.
Oh,
Yeah, that's the base game ability.
really?
Yes.
So is it just like an everyone in the room dies button, or?
No, because it's so
Okay,
short.
is it
Everybody.
is it like a combo tool where people will just die in a blur if you press a certain button after doing an assassination?
No, that I was going to go into that. No, this was genuinely just okay. Time is now slowed down. Everybody notices you. Well, everybody takes a longer time to notice you because you're moving faster in reality, and then you can just sneak up behind people and kill them. The thing you're asking about is the other ability that they added in, which is actually tier 1. I'm pretty sure, which is you get freaking Naruto powers. So you know how the freaking fourth Hokage had his shit when he can throw the kunai and then teleport to it. You can do that shit. You throw the,
Oh,
you threw the Spirit of Leonidas. You show up behind the guy, snap his neck, take the Spirit of Leonidas out. You press the button, throw it at another guy. It's cool as shit.
okay, yeah.
I love it.
I'll admit I'm a fan of throwing the projectile and teleporting to where it lands. And it's such a better way of handling teleportation in video games because otherwise it's pretty hard to handle.
Yeah,
It gives
and
you a solid range for teleportation. That's the strong
yeah,
point.
and that is to kill everyone in the room button because there's also an enhancement that you can put on your weapons that makes it so you can chain it up to one more time. So say you can chain it up to like 4 times. So you put it on that, you can chain it to 5 people. So if it's a 5 people room, everyone's dead. And another thing is, if they're not dead after the first step, you can throw the spear back into them and stab them again. So I have done freaking boss battles when there were 3 people, one of them with like five man's health. So because I built assassins, so my stabs do like a shit ton of damage, like 100,000 a hit.
Okay.
So yeah, so I threw it at the boss guy. Went just ping pong between the two minions that he had, who died immediately, and then between the two, I also pinged off of him. So by the time I was done, everyone was dead, and that was good.
Okay. I just want to invoke again, like, just for Pink to have some reference here. All those parts in the Flash, reverse Flash will just make a blur in the room and everyone's head suddenly twist on the back. Like, twist 180 degrees, you know?
hmm
I've always enjoyed that because that makes reverse Flash fucking terrifying.
So yeah, the only problem that with these enhancements is that they only gave enhancements with the DLC to 3 abilities, and none of them are this. None of them are the teleporting kill everyone.
Are they all overpowered, though?
The enhancements, not really, no. It's just instead of this version of the move, you get that version of the move. For example, there's a move called a bull charge, where you get angry and then you shock on people. You shock on shoulder bash them.
Oh, and is that
Yeah,
just a
so it's
special you can throw out at any time?
yes, it eats up a bar.
Okay, but
You
how
you
expensive
by
is bar? How expensive is meter?
well by the end of the game, you have like I don't know 10 bars together, and then you get a bar by hitting a guy twice or like three times.
Oh,
So
that's not bad at all.
yeah, so there's the bull charge, which is the Shao Kahn shoulder bash. If you put the enhancements on it, then instead of the Shao Kahn shoulder bash, you do a Hadouken motion and then summon a bull.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't genuinely, summon a bull to accompany you, but you do summon a gigantic bull to hit people and then disappear.
A spirit bull?
Yes,
A laser bull?
it it's a bull Hadouken.
That okay, yeah, that's good. And that's reminding me of Atrocitus from Injustice 2 now.
So yeah, that and then the last one is it's Rain of Arrows. It's Rain of Arrows also got a thing on enhancement. Rain of Arrows is a thing is on AOE. It's what's his face? It's basically Hoi's ult. Rain of Arrows is. So now, if you put the enhancements on Hoi's ult, instead of having to aim it somewhere and then it just falling there, it just falls on you. Anything that's around you is dead.
That's amusing, making
'Cause-
yourself the center for a bombardment of arrows.
Yeah, basically it went from Hoi's ult to Hell's 3. To attack Hell's 3.
So I assume the arrows just don't damage you at all.
No.
You can't suicide.
It sounds like Assassin's Creed is getting steadily more over the top with every game, and I'm kind of liking it.
Yeah, at this point, I think I've given up on classic Assassin's Creed ever being a thing again. But if we move more into freaking Naruto shit and just straight up cool stuff that they put into the game, that's not realistic at all, but whatever. I'm fine with it.
I feel like this started with the arrow cam from Origins, didn't it?
It did. It probably did. And that also returns, by the way. But yeah,
You know,
I just hope that yeah.
I wonder if this has some origins in the part of Brotherhood where you get the Apple of Eden and can use it just to instant kill whole crowds.
And what about it?
Just the power fantasy aspect of it, giving the Assassin's Creed main character crazy powers.
Oh yeah, I mean that's just the explanation for why you have the teleporting stem and shit like that. Because the Spear of Leonidas is a piece of Eden, like the apple.
Okay, yeah, that actually is a pretty... I'll accept that as a reasonable explanation. It's gonna make
And yeah,
Ezio and Altair look kind of lame for coming later in time and not having this stuff, though.
I mean, to be fair, the apple is a thing that's trying to control you while also making things you make with your mind or reality. The Speed of Leonidas is just okay. Everything's dead. Just put me up in the air. Everything dies.
Yeah.
Because Altair used the Apple of Eden to summon assassins to kill people who were trying to attack him. Ezio just straight up mind control people while also killing himself in the process.
You know
So-
what? You know what? I thought of an explanation for why the more ancient Assassin's Creeds are more over the top. Because
They have more Easter gene.
What?
That's canon. They have more Easter gene.
What I'd also say is they can get away with having that because if a historian in the Greek times wrote about your character doing all the crazy stuff he does, then a modern scholar would be like, well, clearly he was just making up mythology. It's like, oh, Homer at it again with this Alexandrios guy. But if
Yeah,
it
and also-
happened in like Brotherhood, it's pretty difficult to dispute it if Da Vinci and Machiavelli
And
are all
Leonardo,
like,
yeah.
holy hell, this guy can teleport.
But there's also actual genuine RPG just level progression. Weirdly enough, because there are a couple of
Oh, sorry.
because there's a couple of things because every time you level up you get an ability point, but there's also abilities that are locked behind progression, and by progression I mean your level. So at level 20, fall damage is turned off. It doesn't exist. Like I can climb the gigantic Zeus statue on Kefalonia and jump off of its head and not feel anything. At level 30, this gets an enhancement. Now, not only can you jump from any height and not die, you can also do a freaking a superhero landing that damages people around you.
Wait. It's an area of effect landing?
Yes.
That that is a hilarious image.
But yeah, there's also other such things like that, sync points need to be because it's Assassin's Creed. So what do we do with sync points now that they're not needed? Well, what they did is that since you have Icaros, who I always call Icarios for some reason, I just like the other D, I guess, or I rather. Yeah, since you have Icaros, the eagle, they made it so you unlock more moves for him for when you control him when you survey the people. So he's not just a drone.
Will you do like eagle combat?
Yeah, what you can do with Icaros is that I don't remember how many sync points you need, but it's like a lot. So even unlock the first upgrade for him, but I think the first upgrade for him is that you can harass people. And harassing people is just calling him in to make it so the guy is not noticing anything that's going on around him because there's an eagle trying to block his eyes out.
Yeah, that can be
And
a
then
little
the second,
distracting.
the second upgrade is that the eagle actually claws his eyes out. He does damage now.
Ah, it'd be funny if you could just make them blind, genuinely just take out their eyes.
Yeah,
Well, what's the bird's name?
Icarus.
Okay, imagine if your main character actually just yells, "Go for the eyes, Icarus!" Maim them.
So yeah, the more stupid things they put into Assassin's Creed now, the more I like it because
Yeah.
I like Muso games. I'll roll with it.
Might as well.
Oh, also speaking of Muso and Assassin's Creed, yeah, the new I didn't talk about the new wars, and you can participate in wars.
You can participate in wars.
Yeah, because there's the Peloponnesian War going on, I believe. So at any point in time, you enter a region, or you enter it's a region, I guess. You enter a region, you immediately get told which faction, the Spartans or the Athenians, control that place, and whether or not you know the leader, and how strong freaking the parliament is basically. And you can just go, and if you want, you can just damage that parliament. You can kill the leader. You can steal all their money, burn all their supplies, and then you can start a war for that region. And you can participate in that war for either the attacking side, which is supposed to be harder, thus yielding you more loot, or the defending side, which is supposed to be easier, but
Huh.
yeah.
Now, when you're defending, is it one of those things where it just like notifies you, like, "Oh, hey, so and so's under attack. Go defend them."
No, whenever because actually these standings just change naturally, so you don't actually need to go and damage a parliament to incite a war. So whenever the game just decides that it wants to fight over a region, it just tells you a conquest battle is ready.
Huh.
Doesn't tell you where, doesn't tell you when. You just go and fight it yourself. And if you don't go, they actually resolve it themselves.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. As for these wars themselves, they are they really want it to be Muso, but the new fighting mechanic doesn't allow it to be Muso.
Elaborate.
Because, well, imagine 5 people fighting you while the game is telling you to kill the captain or the pole march. to bring the enemy army down more. But you're doing your Dark Souls combos, so like it's barely fitted for 1v1, let alone 1v6, and you have to do 1v6.
Ooh.
And also you don't actually have a block. You only have a parry, and the parry sometimes doesn't work.
Oh. So I'd
So
imagine
that's how.
you just try to avoid most of it. Avoid most of the guys and get cut straight to the general.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I did. And when I got into fights, I usually just avoided parrying and all, and instead learned how to do perfect dodges because perfect dodges also start a bullet time.
Ah.
Yeah, not many things are better than having daggers because they're the highest DPS. Having daggers that do a shit ton of damage because of your static buffs and shit like that, and then triggering a perfect dodge on a boss. And it's like, oops, all of your health is gone. It's just gone. You did one strike, and I got it all down,
Ha.
all of it. Yeah. The game is fun.
It is weird for me to hear this. You do anything else this past week, Addy?
Yeah, I played Guitar Hero for the first time.
Really?
Yes.
I've never played Guitar Hero in my life.
I've always been fascinated by Guitar Hero, but I never had, when it was a thing, I never had the money nor the console, and now I still don't have the money for the freaking equipment it would need. So,
Okay. I got one question for you. What songs?
uh, I played Beat It because I was doing this with my niece, and she was on drums, and I was like, I don't want to go with freaking metalcore because she's 4.
Yeah.
That's exactly when you go for metalcore.
Yeah, but so we did Beat It. We did some. I don't even remember the freaking artist. I think it was Ram, song called Assassin, because my family wanted me to try it out because it had Assassin in the name, and obviously that means it's related to Assassin's Creed. Um, I don't freaking remember what else. Oh yeah, Float On by Modest Mouse. Uh, freaking Rebel Yell by Billy Idol because I hate myself. I will never hear that song and not just be in constant agony.
Why?
That's a great song.
Because of 2K16.
Oh, right. That
I will never not.
that's your it's all about the power, huh?
Yes, that is why it's all about the power. Oh way oh. With the rebel, yeah, she got oh way oh.
Um,
That's a mashup that needs to happen now. Oh bloody hell. Oh bloody hell. Anyway, yeah, that and then I also did BYOB. Oh, and yeah,
that's
we
the
also
worst.
did.
That's the worst System of a Down song to go with.
It's all they had, or it's all of the. It's the only one I saw.
Aren't there a ton of
But yeah,
unlockable songs in Guitar Hero?
probably, but I don't think that the freaking because this wasn't this isn't my copy of Guitar Hero and all that. They opened a gaming pub near me. Well, not near me, it's in the city, but yeah. So it's there. And I'm not sure if people went through the game to unlock all of the songs or not.
Right.
But yeah. I also did Crazy Train, I think. That's the Aussie song, right?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, the Crazy Train. And it's like Crazy Train was really slow and all that. I got like 70% of it. Which, I played Guitar Hero for the first time, so it's alright, but still. I go with BYOB, 95%.
Really? Because
Yes!
one of those songs is a lot faster than the other.
I mean, it might be that I don't listen to I don't listen to Crazy Train a lot. There was a time in my life when I listened to BYOB every day. Bloody
Every
hell!
day.
He's on your mind, isn't he?
Yeah. I think I'm ready for the next episode now.
Oh
Bloody
man.
hell! Anyway, yeah,
All that makes us think is we need to play Def Jam.
yeah. Yeah. But there was a time when I listened to a lot to BYOB, Ariel's Toxicity, and I don't even remember what else from System of a Down every day for like a month.
Meh.
So yeah, I have the reading down pretty good. Yes, even if it's just smoke crack. Surprisingly, my niece also did better on BYOB.
Yeah. I like how
So
System of
yeah,
a Down might as well have only made 5 songs, you know?
what songs?
I said System of a Down might as well have only made 5 songs.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, what songs do we even know of them? Like there's BYOB, Ariel's, uh,
Let me check what of theirs I
Psycho.
Toxicity,
never heard of
Psycho.
Psycho. Never heard of Psycho.
Neither have I. Lonely Day. There's another big System of a Down song.
Well, I don't know how any of you have avoided Chop Suey. Or
Oh right,
Chop
Chop
Suey.
Suey. Yeah.
Yeah, all I've got on my playlist, I've got Chop Suey, Ariel's, Toxicity, Lonely Day, Hypnotize, and Spiders. And Spiders sucks. I don't know why I still have it on my playlist.
Yeah, I think all I have are Toxicity, um, BYOB, and Ariel's because I forgot about Lonely Day, even though it's their song I like the most because it's the most depressed.
I was about to say.
Uh, so yeah, Guitar Hero was fun. We'll probably go back there sometime.
All right.
Yeah,
All the
and then
That's interesting that
yeah.
they've got a Guitar Hero there. If you ever go to a restaurant or anything like that in America and it's got a game, it's just Pac-Man or Donkey Kong.
Oh no, this is not an arcade. This is a video gaming pub.
No, no, no,
Is what
no.
they
I get
call.
what you're saying. It's a restaurant. But if you go to a restaurant and it has an arcade machine in the States, you will just get Pac-Man or Donkey Kong. There will never
Yeah,
be any other arcade games they put there.
yeah. This place it has a PS4 with possibly VR. One of my one of my friends said that they had VR. I'm not sure because he wasn't there this time, so we couldn't check. But so yeah, they have a PS4 with VR. They have a 360 with Guitar Hero, and that's about all they have right now, is what they said. They have PCs, like 5 of them. So technically, I could have been 10 to record this, but
Nah.
and then also a lot of board games. No D&D though.
I don't think that one would be kind of awkward to put with people in a gaming pub, honestly.
Yeah, apparently they do have a DM or a GM. Which one is it? It's a DM, yes.
Yeah, but D&D
So
is a
yeah,
long haul game.
yeah.
I like to imagine this guy just trying to build a story with a bunch of random people coming in and leaving.
Well,
Like he keeps
according
the
to the
story
guy,
going, but there's a new character every 10 minutes.
yeah. According to the cashier, they do have the DM, but he only does it through Discord and freaking probably Roll20. So, eh,
They set up one of their computers.
yeah.
And we've got a DM on the other side of this Discord here. Have fun.
So yeah, other than that, I've read through most of Junji Ito's stuff.
Well, hasn't Junji Ito been writing and drawing for like 40 years?
Okay, then not most of his stuff, but a lot of his short stories from like the 80s and 90s.
I think he's still working, isn't he?
I don't know. Let me check.
I'm not really up on my Junji Ito knowledge. All I know is he's that guy that makes the really fucked up manga art.
All right. It's still loading, so I don't know.
And we sit and we
Right.
wait.
Yeah. There is no freaking timestamps on these, so I have no idea. It just tells you the name of his books, which,
I just go
like
to
I can
Wikipedia
probably,
page.
yeah. That's where I am.
Oh,
Yeah. Then there's a list of his mangas, and then there's no release date.
weird.
Yeah, some of them have release dates. Most of them don't. Also, Junji Ito worked on Silent Hills.
He did work on Silent Hills, right? That's one of many reasons why everybody was super disappointed that the game didn't come out. There's 1,000,001 reasons to be disappointed that Silent Hills never came out.
Yeah. So, from what basically I've read his most known character story, which is Tomie or Tomie actually, but yeah, Tomie. Tomie is apparently a succubus who charms people and then they kill her and she comes back to life. And that's all the character.
She just comes back to life after people kill her. Does she kill them afterwards? When she comes back?
Nah, not really, no. And sometimes, yes. Most of the time, no.
Is it part of Japan's whole thing against gore that she doesn't kill them most of the time?
I don't know, because she dies in pretty gory ways. So,
Oh,
I mean, how we are introduced is that she was a schoolgirl who got killed and then cut up into small pieces, and they don't even have all of her pieces. And then, like years later, she just shows up at a guy that I actually posted a picture of that in the Discord, at the guy's house. I can cross-reference this and post the links here. The so the audience can know what I'm talking about, and also see Junji Ito art.
okay. Just tell me when you need a timestamp.
All right, so yeah, um, basically the first like three volumes of his works are just Tomie, nothing else, just Tomie, and the idea of like figuring out what exactly Tomie is and all that was all right, but then the more you read it, and the more short stories are basically just so here's Tomie. Tomie charms a guy. Tomie dies. That's it. That's the story. Like there are some other things he sparkles in, so it kind of differs, but not really. Like there's one story where one of the Tomies is just a face. There's no actual body to it. It's just a face that speaks to a guy. So
It sounds like a lot of not actually anything happening horror.
yeah. What I've heard about Junji Ito is that he was really inspired by Lovecraft, and he wanted to make it so well. There's this quote by him that people often say, or at least I often hear people say about him, that he takes ordinary things and then thinks about them backwards. So I'm gonna assume that it's like, okay, so I like Lovecraft. I see that there is in fact a door. So what if the door was an unimaginable horror, but it was still just a door?
Yeah. That's the way to think about it.
Yeah, and that's basically most of it. The actual, one-off shorts are freaking good though. I really like them. One of my favorites is I don't actually remember the name of it, but it's a story of a guy who wants to get the father's blessings for his marriage with the father's daughter, but the father doesn't give it. So the guy breaks up with the girl, and then spoiler for a freaking short story that was released in Japan in like 89. Turns out the girl killed herself, but she still shows up at his door every night to go and ask his father for his blessings.
Wait, I thought he was asking her father, not the other way around.
Yeah, that she shows up at the guy's door to go with her to ask her father for his blessing.
Okay.
Yeah, that the father dies because of plot reasons that I don't want to spoil because it's a somewhat alright story, so you should probably check it out. And yeah, it's revealed that it is really revealed that the girl was dead and he didn't give his blessings after 13 years of every night the guy going with the girl to ask him because the girl killed herself and that was the only way he could see her. And the
Oh.
story end,
Okay, that's a neat
yeah,
twist.
yeah. I like that, and the story ends with the guy holed up in his room, just clutching his ears, narrating that every night since her father died, she's been knocking on the door, and we go to an outside shot of the ghost of the girl in wedding gown, and then she's been knocking on the door because he gave his blessings on the deathbed, so they can now marry. So yeah, the protagonist guy also doesn't get off being haunted.
Yeah. I mean, now he's just married
And
to a ghost chick. That's just his life now.
yeah, um, there's a lot of other just times where he took months of his time to just follow one set of characters. So I don't remember any of the freaking characters' names, but who cares? There was this arc about a kid who lived in a mansion all alone, and his mansion was a door to another dimension.
Okay.
And yeah, hilarity ensues, as you can imagine. So there's shit like he kills his best friend. The best friend becomes a bloody elephant. Not a genuine elephant, though. Not a genuine elephant, but he genuinely becomes the size of the freaking mansion, though. So pretty big.
Yeah.
That that was probably an alternate universe. Main universe character um has another alternate universe character who's the protagonist break in and then dispose of bodies of his friends that he just met. Then
Okay.
another story is alternate universe protagonist steals people from main universe protagonist's world to do experiments on them, as well as his own universe's characters.
Okay.
And there's things like this. There was also another one that followed a kid who ate. Well, he didn't eat nails, but he always had nails in his mouth and shit like that. And basically, it was just he want Junji Ito really wanted to make a vampire, but he didn't want to go all out with it. So there was that's the thing. And one of the stories I didn't there like, the problem with these Junji Ito stories is that I don't actually see the horror in a lot of them. For example, this one that I found quite comedic. This character, the annoying kid with the needles, the needles, or not the needles, freaking the nails in his mouth. He's bothering his big brother, who's supposed to be learning for a test. So he goes complaining to his family to either do something about the noise or he will move away. They call up a construction company to soundproof his room, and then the next day, a guy shows up. Now, I'm gonna spoil the plot twist immediately. The guy doesn't work for the construction company, but whatever. He actually puts in really good soundproofing. It's 4 layers of room. He just makes a smaller room every time, and that's where this picture comes in. Put up a timestamp.
Sure.
So yeah, that's where this picture comes from. And I just found his reaction funny. But I remember you read from right to left, and yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
But yeah, there was like what seemed to be like another 5 doors there. Apparently, it was only 4 layers, but still. Yeah. So that was funny. And the thing is, a lot of his things are just riddled with accidental comedy, and I just love it because it's so good. So yeah, the doors. So what happened there is later turned out that there were holes between the walls, and that the the nail mouse kid could climb in and make noises there as well. Yada yada, whatever. There's also this sometimes overarching thing with these characters. For example, this nail mouse kid, he does voodoo. So that's a recurring thing that he puts curses on people and just uses curses to be an annoyance to the world.
Yeah, curses seem pretty annoying.
I'd
Mhm.
imagine so.
There are also but I don't know why, but vampires are a really big thing for Junji Ito, even though he doesn't want to actually put real vampires in his things. Because not only does this kid behave like a vampire, there's also later on a story about a guy who basically kisses your wounds if they're bleeding, and then you turn into a blood tree. And not only is the guy like a vampire, but there's also the people who eat their own blood, who turn into basically vampires. It's all over the place.
Sounds like.
Yeah, there's also the weird deaths sometimes because lot of times shit is just graphic. The other times shit is freaking comical. There's this story that I'm gonna post a picture from that isn't the picture of the death, but whatever. So actually I'm not sure if, whatever, who cares? We'll get to it. So there's a story about a girl who is really about her looks and being clean because that's how they were raised. Getting followed around by this fat guy who supposedly smells. And long story short, her sister dies by being dragged through the drain pipes.
Okay.
But the last frame that we see is well, I don't think it's the last frame, but it's the last frame of the girl that we see is just her legs sticking out of the drain. Which, like when you think about it, it's pretty terrifying. But just looking at it, it's freaking funny. Uh, but yeah, there's also this that happened in one of his comics. Put up a timestamp.
Okay, give me just a moment.
So yeah, this is I call this page "What happens when I find something with a hidden furry fandom."
So I assume that's like the Japanese to English equivalent of like just ghostly moaning.
Yes, I know it's supposed to be ghostly crying, but yes.
Ah. Well. Don't know what to say there. You know,
But yeah,
this has been a great story time, Addy, but I think we need to move on.
yeah, I was about to say. So to wrap everything up, Junji Ito, you don't need to be freaking scared of him because he can do some real well put together horror pictures, but eh, eh,
I mean, it's the classic thing of some horror writers have something that really weird that they find scary and no one else does. You know?
yeah. But doors,
Yeah.
doors weren't
Multiple
actually
doors.
yeah, multiple doors.
You know, I once
I love that frame. It's my favorite.
I once read a story where a Stephen King story where a guy goes out in the desert and he buys a set of novelty teeth. You know those old wind-up teeth that would start chomping and walking around, and that was the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Joker thing, the
Yeah.
Joker teeth.
He buys a pair of those novelty teeth, and they're supposed to be broken. And while he's out driving in the desert, a person hitchhikes with him and tries to rob him. And the novelty teeth jump to life. And firstly, they bite off the robber's genitals. And then they jump up his chest, rip out his throat. And then the pair of novelty teeth drags the body out into the desert and hides it among the sands before returning to the guy. And it just becomes his weird guardian angel. And I'm like, Stephen King probably, in a coke-induced haze, I'm sure at some point Stephen King thought this was terrifying. This is kind of hilarious.
Those are some dedicated teeth.
Yeah, the one story that I felt was actually somewhat scary because is more about this woman who's really obsessed with beauty. We get to know this woman by their son, who is a kindergartner, and the protagonist of the story is a kindergarten teacher. So this kid has This kid has broken skin and stuff like that. Long story short, the woman has a freaking potion that makes it so she can take her skin off and just be muscles. And she wasn't able to replicate it for her son. But yeah, muscle monster.
Okay.
Like she let me see if I can find if I can make a picture real quick of this thing, because it's really good because he made a really good detailed muscle drawing of a person who has no skin, and
Yeah,
that
it's just a musculature anatomy.
that he also has them put on a wig. So yeah, that's fun. We can move it and I'll send the picture whenever I have it.
Okay. Alright. You done anything else this week, Addy?
No.
Alright, Volk, what you been up to this past week other than watching Infinity War?
Oh, let's see. So I had to finish the Marvel marathon. So let's see. Where did I leave off? Oh, so I did watch Doctor Strange. And then I
Yay.
watched. Yeah. What comes after that? Oh, then Guardians 2. And then Spider-Man Homecoming, Thor Ragnarok, Black Panther, and then Infinity War. And then we watched Ant-Man and the Wasp after. But, like...
You know, I thought Black Panther's last fight was kind of neat, but it's kind of underwhelming in comparison to the Battle of Wakanda from Infinity
That
War.
is true.
I think
Luckily
most
for...
things are.
Yeah. Luckily Black Panther came first. It's like, yeah. So I pretty much just spent my whole week catching up on the movies so I could be caught up. And yeah. Then I watched Endgame. That's about all I did. Kind of lazy week. And it went by really fast.
They tend to when you have a lazy week, yeah.
Yeah.
It's when you work that it goes slow.
Yes.
And that's about it?
Yeah. Pretty much. The movies are still great, so I do suggest rewatching when anyone has time.
Alright. And on my end, well, I did get to watch a couple movies this week. Well, several actually. I got to watch the first two movies out of the Mummy trilogy. Has anyone here watched the Mummy trilogy before?
I've seen the
I've
first
seen the
one.
first
the old
one.
one?
What
Yeah,
The old-
of the old trilogy. I don't think we're counting the new ones.
We're not counting Tom Cruise. We never count Tom Cruise.
Right.
No,
Okay,
I didn't
yeah,
even bother watching that one.
I think I saw all of the old trilogy because my father really liked those.
Okay, I haven't watched the third one. How's the third one shape up?
I don't freaking remember, dude. I was like 8.
So, it's been one of those franchises that everybody and their mother grew up on and always is insisting it's the absolute greatest. So, which, whenever everybody insists everything is the absolute greatest, then I tend to be pretty cynical. And I mean, yeah, I'd say the first 2 Mummy movies are really, really overrated. And that a lot of people consider them like some of the greatest. There are a lot of people who grew up with them and out of nostalgia consider them some of the greatest action movies of all time. And they're just dumb popcorn flicks. With that
Those people are
said,
wrong. Those people are wrong. Everybody knows that I'm the greatest.
cancel that. Yeah. I mean, they're just dumb popcorn flicks, but they achieve the purpose of a dumb popcorn flick pretty efficiently.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Because the whole thing throughout the movie is like, well, the first Mummy movie is relatively slow, which you may not think so if you've only watched the first Mummy movie, but when you see the second movie, it's like, yeah, the first Mummy movie was a lot slower. So, I've never been a huge Brendan Fraser guy, but Brendan Fraser is easily the strongest parts of these movies. Well, no, I wouldn't say that. I'd say the cast overall does a good job in the Mummy movies. Everyone, Rachel Weisz, who up until now I didn't really watch any movies of hers, despite her being uber famous. John Hannah is her chicken shit brother. Like, this is a movie where the writing is pretty much typical standard blockbuster fare, where it's like, oh, hey, there's a mummy, there's an evil prophecy, our main characters are cursed, there's also some villains who are also cursed. The main characters will win by respecting the prophecy and respecting the old Egyptian practices. The villains will lose because they didn't respect the old Egyptian practices. You know, that kind of... The typical fare, right?
Right.
My favorite thing about the Mummy is still how... I'm not sure which one, probably the second one. I have a VHS, and my sister just wrote Black Blade on it. As in Wesley Snipes' Blade.
Oh, I don't think there was ever a white blade, so it's an interesting qualification there. Writing-wise, there are some fun moments, but a lot of it is, like I said, it succeeds on the strength of its cast. It's got some neat action scenes, but no matter what, the best scene in any of these movies will always be, in the first Mummy, there's a scene where when the mummy first shows up, when he first properly gets up and starts trying to go after people, there's one guy on the villainous side of the cast who, believe it or not, he's supposed to be Hungarian. And
Oh boy.
his whole thing is that he's supposed to be a cowardly shitbag, which, oh boy. But as soon as the mummy comes out, the Hungarian guy, legitimately, he whips out the cross and starts, like, saying, like, Bible verses in Latin. Then he whips out, like, the crescent moon or whatever of Islam and starts saying verses of the Quran in Arabic. Then he whips out the Buddhist wheel and starts saying, like, stuff like that. I love the idea of a character who is just packing as many holy artifacts and icons as he can going into this. Taking no chances, invoking all the heavenly help he can get. Oh, man. But, yeah, it's kind of dumb. The first Mummy movie has some horror elements, and you can tell, which, I mean, it's pretty much a remake tried to be a remake of the original Universal Mummy, right? But much more Indiana Jones-esque. But it's also, of course, got a lot of action, particularly near the end. And I mean, The Mummy was like, what, 96, 97?
Think so.
So yeah, I was kind of entering that phase of like, well, we figured out what CG is, time to put it in tons of action scenes. So there's loads of CG in both Mummy movies, and the CG did not age well.
Mm-mm.
Which is the
All right,
classical problem.
I have the picture ready.
Oh, you've got the picture ready. Okay, here's a
Yeah.
Junji Ito thing just being thrown in there for those of you who are waiting on it.
Not paying attention.
There we go.
There you go.
Oh, I thought that was a good time to take a drink.
It wasn't.
Oh, it's up my nose. Oh, son of a...
So what do you think of the skin of the muscle monster?
It's the Pikachu meme. It's the Pikachu meme.
Uh,
Okay. So yeah, the CG is aged poorly in both movies. But it's still got a lot of fun moments. Mummy 2 is a lot dumber. And it's one of those movies that gets steadily worse the closer they get to the finale. But there's still some fun part. Like, Mummy 2, more than the first movie, tries to focus on the strength of its cast. Which I think was a strong decision. A lot of characters who got neat moments in Mummy 1 but didn't get too much focus get a lot more focus in Mummy 2. With that said, Mummy 2 is also one of those cases where a sequel very much tries to tread the same ground that the original did. Which I think is always a problem when they kill off the villain in the first movie and then they have to resurrect him again for the second.
Yeah.
Like, if you really want to use him for the sequel, just figure out a way to resolve the plot without killing him. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy.
Oh, by the way, sorry for running a bit more Junji Ito stuff, but there's also, I just want to say that one of his short stories is just titled "A Shit to Remember."
I'm sorry?
Yes, that is one of his short stories title, "A Shit to Remember."
Now, you've said in the past Japanese doesn't have profanity, so I assume that's the translator's fault.
Probably is, but still. Oh boy.
Alright. Alright, the other movie I got to watch Silence of the Lambs for the first time. Have any of you guys watched Silence of the Lambs yet?
No.
Nope.
So, it's the classic Hannibal Lecter horror film. And it's kind of weird in that it's like the only horror movie in history to pick up the Best Picture at the Oscars. And I think it's one of the only 3 movies in history and the last movie in history to not only pick up Best Picture, but also pick up Best Director, Best Screenplay, and Best Actor and Best Actress. That's some crazy shit, and that movie deserved it. It's a really, really good horror movie. It's not at all an in-your-face... It's, I wouldn't call it subtle, because we see Lecter brutally murder the hell out of 2 dudes hard. And there's some serious gore in one scene. Well, in at least 2. But there's no jump scares. It's got a lot of slow building horror. And, like, of course it focuses a lot on having good old Anthony Hopkins do a lot of the horror, carrying a lot of the horror pretty much solely on his own shoulders. And at the time, well, not at the time, even to this day, it's kind of controversial giving him Best Actor, because Lecter's technically only in the film for 20 minutes, believe it or not. Did any of you guys ever hear about that? That Lecter is only in Silence of the Lambs for 20 minutes?
I did not.
Nope.
And people will say that like it really undercuts his role in the movie. It does not. At all. Let me look up the runtime here, because I think people overestimate how much... Okay, Silence of the Lambs is 2 hours and 20 minutes. With that said, a lot of Lecter's scenes he's not on screen. A lot of Lecter's scenes it instead focuses on Clarice, the main character, and her reaction to the things that Lecter is saying. And regardless, Lecter has a very central role in the plot. I was kind of surprised how they went to a good effort to hide Buffalo Bill until the last half of the movie. Because, I mean, that's one of the things that everybody knows about Silence of the Lambs is it's Buffalo Bill. Buffalo Bill's the killer and all that. So, I was kind of surprised it took that long to get there. It's got... whoever the set designer is for that movie really did a killer job. Because particularly, like, both of Lecter's cells... Buffalo Bill's house, like most of the major environments we see in the film are very distinctive horror environments. They're like very creepy and unnerving. And despite the fact that it's like a kind of realistic horror where the horror is a serial killer, it still makes heavy use of like that weird droning heavy noise that Silent Hill would use, that kind of thing in the soundtrack. I really enjoyed it, though I did just watch it last night, so I'm still in the honeymoon period, I guess. But there was something I was going to put my finger on and say point to it as a great moment. Ah, damn. Here I've gone and forgotten. I will say Buffalo Bill's basement genuinely does look like a Silent Hill environment. I kind of... It's one of those things where I look at it, and I know that the Silent Hill game developers were big fans of American movies. I think that you can see in Silence of the Lambs that there's probably a lot of influence into Silent Hill there in that film. It's a great fucking movie. And the other thing I did this week is... Well, on Monday... Was it Monday? Was it Monday? Yes, it was Monday. I went in and bought Mortal Kombat 11 for the Switch. And,
how did that go?
Oh! Well, hey. You know, I'm aware that NetherRealm outsources their porting jobs. I'm aware that it went very, very poor. It went pretty poorly for Mortal Kombat X. It went very poorly for Injustice 2. They absolutely shit the bed this time. Because with Nintendo Switch, the advertised feature was that the match gameplay will never break 60 frames per second. To their credit, that is true. And that feels like it was a thing that was just in the contract, and the contract didn't specify anything else. Because everything else frame drops like crazy. Even super moves and fatalities will cause frame drops.
I was going to say the match gameplay never drops under 60 seconds if it never reaches it.
That'd be crazy. So most of the game modes, the crypt crashes constantly. Character customization crashes about 1/10 of the time. Going through towers, it'll just crash between matches. It crashes constantly. The graphics, hideous. Unjustifiably hideous for the Nintendo Switch. You look at the environments, they are potatoes. Like, as low res as it gets. Like, you know when you play a PC game and your PC sucks, so you have to low res everything? It looks like that. Looks a whole lot like that. And this game was how I found out that the cutscenes in the Mortal Kombat and Injustice games are FMVs. Because you know what? The cutscenes still look great. And I just could not handle it. Because anytime I wanted to unlock anything, game crashed. Anytime I wanted to use an unlockable to customize a character, game crashed. Anytime I wanted to do anything outside of playing a match, game crashed. Sometimes the game would just crash when I was doing nothing. And when I actually played the game, the match gameplay was silky smooth. It looked like ass, though. It had this weird effect. Everyone's hair was white for some reason. I don't know why. Like, Old Man Jax I can understand, but then Young Jax and Young Johnny, it's like, how'd that happen?
I was going to make a reference to something, but I forget which bloody thing it was where your life, the more life power you use to use your freaking magic, the whiter your hair turned or whatever. It was some stupid shit like that.
So you know what I did? Just this
Yeah.
morning, I went back, and I heard. Well, no, I read that GameStop does not allow you to return new unopened products. You just have to trade it in for the, in-store cash. And that was going to suck, because I spent $60 on this fucking game, and the in-store trade value is only $25. Because it's GameStop. But shockingly enough, the lady out front was actually nice enough to just go ahead and refund the game for me.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, crazy. And that was a massive weight off my shoulders, and I was able to get the PS4 copy without any guilt. Because it was destroying me going in like, I'm going to wind up spending $100 to get the regular version of this game, when everyone else spent $100 to get the premium version.
That cashier woman sacrificed half a year's worth of salary just so she could refund your game.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was worried about. That's what I get worried about anytime someone at retail does something nice for me. It's like, this is going to get you hung up by the balls later, isn't it? Mr. Office Space or whatever comes. Yeah, I'm gonna need you to not do that ever again. Okay?
It loses me all 2 cents.
I'd imagine it wasn't. Well, first of all, she was the manager, so
Oh, yeah.
which could be worse because that could mean she's dealing with upper management now. But the other thing is, like, I'd imagine it definitely wasn't so bad because I was immediately like, don't even get the cash out of the register, just hand me a PS4 copy.
Right.
What was I going to say? So, about the game itself. Well, I haven't had too much. I've had about all of an hour to experience the game as it's meant to be experienced. But going off my time with the Switch, I did beat the story mode. And the match gameplay is just phenomenal. This is some of the most fun I've ever had in a fighting game. Like, I'd say the height of my fighting game experience so far was Tekken Tag 2. And I'd say this beats Tekken Tag 2 for just how fun it feels to play. It's the rare fighting game, in complete contrast to Tekken Tag Tournament 2. Because Tekken Tag Tournament 2, you look at a move list for a character, and a character has over 100 moves, and it's like, I have no idea what most of these are supposed to be used for, right? Like, Addy, how many times do you go into a Tekken moveset and be like, alright, I'm going to use, 10 of these moves? Addy, how many times do you go into a Tekken moveset and go, yeah, I'm going to use, 10 of these moves?
I don't go into a moveset. I don't spend any time in the lab. I adapt. I overcome.
One of my favorite things in fighting games is spending time in the lab.
Mine is not. Mine is being on the field.
Oh, man. So, Mortal Kombat 11 is probably the first fighting game where I can look at every move in a character's moveset and say, yeah, I can see where that's useful. This is the strength of the neutral game. Overall, the movesets have been cut down quite a bit. Scorpion, in particular, is a weird one. In this game, Scorpion only has 2 specials by default. When you customize him variation, you can give him more, but by default, he only has 2. He's got the spear, and he's got the teleport. That's it. He doesn't get Hellfire anymore. He doesn't get the leg takedown anymore. It's crazy. Like, Liu Kang doesn't get low fireball anymore. You can give him back low fireball with a character variation choice. But it's just weird for him to not have it by default. All the character variation moves make a big difference that you can easily tell. Whether they're just simply replacing a prior move and making it much better, or adding an entirely new tool to your character's moveset. It all feels very purposeful, whereas, with Mortal Kombat X and Injustice 2, there are a lot of cases where it felt like characters just had padded movesets. I mean, Injustice 2 particularly, because Injustice 2, you not only had a lot of normals, you had a lot of specials too in Injustice 2.
Yep.
And there are some characters where you just play as a character and it's like, I have no idea what use this special move is for. Like, i.e. 75% of Grodd's moveset. It's great that Grodd's got like 5 different special moves, but I'm only going to use the Stampede. What was even the point of Grodd and Cheetah's super jumps? I never understood those.
Shiva.
No. I'm not saying Shiva's super jump is great because it's just a teleport. It's just a teleport overhead. Hell, and wasn't Shiva's jump unblockable in 9?
It was not in 9, but in 14.3 it was. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. But
I don't know about 9.
when I say super jump, I mean Cheetah and Grodd in Injustice 2 genuinely just had a jump that launched them across the screen, but did no damage, could not impact at all. It's just a screen clearing jump.
Give you MVC3 flashbacks?
I guess. Well, no. It's not straight up. It's horizontal.
Those could be horizontal as well.
Yeah, true. The only thing I could think of would be it's a way of getting them in on people who are zoning. But most people who are going to take zoner characters are going to learn their anti-airs. Because that's one of the most important parts. Otherwise, people just jump. One thing that's nice that I can say about Mortal Kombat 11 is that NetherRealm badly over-exaggerated how many zoners there are in the game. The majority of the character... There are not many straight-up zoners. Like, looking at the roster, the only one I'd say is just a full-blown zoner, can't do jack shit at close range, is Cetrion. Which means, by the way, Cetrion is the only character on the roster I don't like. Everyone else, like, they said Jade was a zoner going in. I have no idea why. Because, Addy, going back in forever in Mortal Kombat history, Jade has only had one projectile, right?
I believe so, yes.
Good old boomerang. She only has the boomerang unless you take a variation move. And the boomerang's actually slightly worse in this game because it has a massive startup. So, when they say Jade was one of the quintessential zoner characters of the game, they lied! There's some other character they said was going to be a zoner, and it was a real idiotic statement. But I forget who.
I nearly said Nia Jax. And I was like, wait.
Wouldn't that be something if Jacqueline just gets swapped out for Nia Jax at some point in the games?
Yeah.
She just breaks your legs, and the move's called the Dean Ambrose.
Aaron Black. He's not supposed to be a zoner.
Aaron Black is not a zoner either. Because his rifle move that looked like it would be the ultimate zoning tool, turns out because it has to reload, actually not terrible, but not great at zoning. It's more of a combo tool, shockingly enough.
Can you give him the Winchester back?
The what? The Winchester? You mean the repeater rifle?
I don't know, the freaking variation that gave him a large rifle instead of the revolver.
He has that by default.
Oh, nice.
And now it's a stance. It's a stance where he'll pull the gun out and he'll aim it at the opponent. And you can either cancel it, you can fire a shot, you can smack them with the gun butt, or you can reload a bullet. It has an ammo clip system, which prevents it from being too good of a zoning tool, which is a smart choice.
Ah, nice.
And one of the variation choices allows you to buff it so that when he smacks them with the butt, it's a pop-up. So it becomes, if you take that variation, it will become your main comboing tool.
I see.
It's the gameplay. I will keep talking about it for the next couple weeks. You guys know the thing. You guys know the deal.
Yeah.
The story is a lot of fun. Looking back on Mortal Kombat X's story, it kind of felt a little bit hollow. X felt like they just had to build a bridge going into the future. Because 9 changed things so hard with its ending. And you guys know the moment I'm talking about. It's not the proper
I
ending.
forgot.
It's the Cinderella. But Mortal Kombat X felt like it was just trying to piece the world back together. 11 feels like it's the first time it's trying to really have fun with some of the new characters. Even though they actually got rid of a lot of them. But at the same time, there is one particularly weird choice they make that I don't know. And I can't talk about the choice they make because it's a big spoiler. And even trying to talk around it would still spoil it. So I can't talk about it.
Just to put up a spoiler warning and say it. I don't think any of us here care about the spoilers since I don't think Volc or Pink will just run out and buy it now.
I don't know. Will you, Pink? Will you just buy Mortal Kombat 11 now?
Nope.
Okay. Volk?
No.
All right. Well, I'll just say this before the spoiler warning. They do have some fun with the time travel thing of bringing characters back from the past into the future and all that. So, like, Sonya, they couldn't really do the fullest extent of because she's voiced by Ronda Rousey. Genuinely, this is
She even hobbles
whole-
Mortal Kombat.
this
the
is
whole
the
world is
hardest anyone's. Well, no, it's not the hardest anyone's phoned it in because Peter Dinklage in Destiny. But this is pretty hard phoning it in, man. It's just
It may have been a literal phoning in.
I wouldn't doubt
They
it.
put a cell phone up to a microphone and dialed up Ronda Rousey. She gave her about She gave them about 2 minutes, and then she was done.
Oh man.
But I love having to freaking watch Discord through two screens so I can actually freaking talk about things with the podcast.
Mm.
Jeez. But hey, you know what's the best moment of bringing the past into the future? Past Johnny gets to meet future Johnny, and future Johnny's like, man, I used to be an asshole. In complete contrast, past Kano meets future Kano, and they pretty much just high five and do the Bill and Ted air guitar. They're both like, yeah, there's two of me. Awesome.
As this should be. Kano is a character I play, so
Oh, Kano's so good in this game. Kano is so good.
what did they change?
Well, it depends on which variation you take. But,
I used to play the red one, so the laser eye one.
okay, what was your favorite part of that? The grenade combos or the fact that he could use the laser eye to link normal? The fact that he could
The
use
fact that he could,
the laser eye to link normals.
yeah, the laser eye linking into normals.
Nah, they took that out, I'm afraid. It's unfortunate because that was
Aw.
actually one of the few more interesting combo tools in X, but I get why they did it. It's
Yeah,
now
'cause it's a
instead
laser.
it's a beam attack that replaces his knife throw projectile if you take the variation.
Oh, the beam attack is actually an old move.
Yeah. But it's better than just throwing a knife. It's a proper beam instead of a projectile.
Yeah, like it was in the old times, but he had both in those times, I think.
Yeah. Well, Kano doesn't really work as his owner. You kind of want him to be more in your face.
Yeah. Can I still just ride up the Kano ball for 15 hours in the air?
Oh, I haven't checked if they left that in. That'd be Oh, I kind of want it, but I kind of don't want it. But Kano gets some really fun moves in this. Did you ever get to play Shazam in Injustice 1?
No.
So Shazam had a move in Injustice 1. It was his forward 2-2. And when you did it, his first move would just be a simple punch, and his second one he would call in a Shazam lightning bolt. And it would stun them for a little bit. And you're supposed to follow it up with the final hit of the combo, but the stun was pretty nice, so sometimes you just use it for that. Kano has an equivalent, but instead it's punch and then he spits a loogie in your face.
Oh, nice.
And I haven't figured out whether or not he can use that to link normals together, but it seems like it's got some possibilities because the hit advantage on it is crazy. Block advantage, of course, is absolutely awful, as you would expect from a person blocking a loogie with their arm. Probably isn't going to be knocked back that much.
Yeah.
But he can be a command grappler now if you want him, which that's the wrestler thing variation still. He's got some pretty nice knockout. He gets free pop-ups, I should note, on back 2, which is incredible. And there's
So they don't even leave Shaolin, is what you say.
kind of. One of the variation moves he can take now is a counter. And you know what he does?
Predictable.
Yeah. You know how NetherRealm counters will have your character do the animation, and if you get hit during the animation, they counter?
Yeah.
Kano's is he does the old put the hand on the bicep Australian fuck you.
Oh,
And it's
you mean
really,
that Hibiki?
I love canceling unsafe combos into it, because even if they don't take the bait, it's still Kano telling them to fuck off. Whereas if you miss the counter with Joker or Batman in old games, it looked kind of dumb. Like, Pink, you remember Batman's counter?
Yeah.
You remember how dumb it would look if they didn't take the bait? How Batman would just sweep his cape and that's it?
I didn't even know it was a counter for the longest time.
Yeah.
What is he doing?
It's a taunt. It's a taunt thing.
Mortal Kombat needs taunts still. Shao Kahn's the only one who gets taunts. I love that it's a variation move. You have to take the ability to taunt with Shao Kahn.
I still want, like, I know it won't happen, but a part of me still wants the freaking MK9 Ermac arcade ending to be canon somewhere.
Oh, what was the Ermac MK9 ending?
After Shao Kahn is dead, Ermac takes the form of a king and starts ruling over NetherRealm.
Oh. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna... Okay, I'm just gonna have to break Addy's heart here. Kind of. Whether or not the crypt is canon is important to you, Addy. I need to say that. Because in the main story, we don't get to know what happened to Ermac or Kenshi or Reptile. But in the crypt, we find Kenshi's corpse. Apparently Shang Tsung got to him and ate his soul. And when you go to visit the bottom of the pit, Ermac just falls and impales on a spike. And just dies.
So his thing is canon, is what you're saying.
We don't know if the crypt's canon.
No, not the crypt. But if the crypt is canon, that also means that the MKX ending of Ermac is canon.
The one where Shang Tsung kills him, right?
Yes. But it doesn't outright kill him yet. He just takes form from Ermac, and then it's assumed that he kills him.
It might be the case. It honestly might be the case, because we don't see who throws Ermac onto the spike. We just see Ermac suddenly fall out of the sky onto a spike. It's kind of a dark humor jump scare. Because you're just minding your business among the spikes and impaled bodies, and then just, boom, Ermac. Poor bastard. But the crypt might not be canon, because it's kind of implied it might be in the future. I don't know.
Yeah.
I
mean, wasn't an MKX Sub-Zero dead as well? In the crypt?
He might be. I don't know.
Then again, they never said which was, so...
Bihan's been dead for a long time.
Yeah. The thing is, the two people that I know I'm pretty sure were dead in the MKX script are already dead, because one of them is Sub-Zero, the other is Scorpion.
Yep.
So...
what was I going to say? I completely lost my train of thought there. Oh, damn. Oh, that's the hardest I've ever lost my train of thought. Legitimately, I had a thought in my mind, and it just, bloop, gone. What was I going to say? Son of a... Oh! Okay. What it is, I heard, I don't remember if it was like official lore, or if it was just someone making shit up, but someone said, that supposedly the official lore is that little protagonist in the Mortal Kombat 11 crypt, because it's in third person. It's the first crypt in third person. It's this weird kind of ninja-looking dude. He's supposed to be the kid that Shujinko was friends with as a kid in Deception grown up.
Oh.
And the crypt in MK11, by the way, I neglected to mention this because I forgot everyone wouldn't know. It's Mortal Kombat Island from Mortal Kombat 1. It's Shang Tsung's island. And you get to visit all the stages, all the iconic locations.
Nice.
And you get some moments from the movie, too, which is pretty nice. You can go down to Goro's dining hall, and there's a spot where Kano sits at the dining table in the movie. There is a skeleton sitting there eating a turkey leg.
Where can you find Johnny's ripped apart body?
That was the second movie.
Oh.
We don't talk about the second movie, Addy. Ever. Seriously. So anyways, spoiler warning, time for you to drop out if you don't want to be spoiled on Mortal Kombat 11 story, everybody. Yeah. Go ahead and drop out now. I'm just telling you now. Drop out.
Drop out of your school right now.
I'm giving you time to drop out of your school, drop out of this podcast, drop out of everything.
Drop out of your school.
Drop out of your school.
Sit on the couch. Watch
Drop
potato
out of
chips
a
and eat
plate.
TV.
Oh no.
Sounds about right.
Oh my.
Drink your school, eat your drugs, do 8 hours of sleep, and don't take your vitamins or something like that.
Take your prayers and eat your vitamin. Or freaking. Take your prayers and eat your prayers as well. I don't freaking know at this point.
You know what?
Say your vitamins and eat your prayers.
Oh.
I think the best one I ever heard was like, don't do sleep, get 8 hours of drugs, drink your school, and what was it?
Don't leave, something probably.
I don't know. Just some stupidity. Hey, Mortal Kombat 11 spoilers. So, a couple big things happen. Current timeline, Sonya dies immediately.
Yay! Kano succeeds for once.
Kano didn't even get to do it.
Aww.
She laid a bunch of C4 charges in evil Liu Kang's Hell Fortress and detonates them.
Wow.
Killing herself. Yeah. It's kind of underwhelming. Future Raiden, Dark...
Even in games, Ruzi doesn't want to put anyone else over.
Nope. Future Raiden, Dark Raiden, dies immediately. Also.
Oh.
Because when Chronica merges the timelines, they say immortal beings cannot coexist in the same timeline with themselves. So, past Raiden getting brought into the future timeline just instantly kills Dark Raiden.
Nice.
It's kind of hilarious. On one hand, I was interested in seeing the Dark Raiden storyline. On the other hand, Raiden being a huge fuck-up has been overdone so hard. I'm glad to see Raiden go back to being just a straight good guy. And this is the first game we've got where Raiden's a straight good guy and competent at the same time. Hallelujah. What else major events were there? Oh, here. Addy, they were really intent on pissing you off, man. So, past Sonya shoots past Kano in the head, which, through the butterfly effect, causes future Kano to cease to exist. So, Kano is double dead. It's revealed that Kotal Khan and Jade were lovers, and that, that Kotal was thrown in prison because Shao Kahn figured out he was too ambitious for his own good. It's assumed that a large part of the reason why Jade turned good before Katana was because she felt so awful about Shao Kahn doing that to Kotal. It's also kind of implied that Kotal's such a bastard in MKX because he's in mourning. And Jade pretty much sees to it that Kotal becomes a total good guy.
He's not Total Khan.
She's now Kotal Khan, is that what you said?
No, I said he's now Total Khan.
Total Khan, yeah. That's kind of awesome. Oh, you know what? One of his brutalities in MKX was named Totally Awesome. So, hey, someone else thought the same thing. Same rhyme. The wildest thing? Kitana works with Kotal in an alliance against Shao Kahn. And they get Baraka and Shiva and all the Shokan and all the Tarkatans to turn good. Baraka to turn good.
Baraka has a brain.
Yeah. This is This is crazy because legitimately she goes up to Baraka, and up to this point, I thought all the Tarkatans were like, the evil wants nothing but to kill humans and eat humans race in every fictional setting, right? The monsters. No, she goes up to Baraka, and Baraka's like, man, this world conquest shit is for the birds. I'm tired of watching people die. It's like, what, Baraka? Like, Baraka honestly is like something along the lines of, I'm tired of good Tarkatans losing their lives or something like that. It's like, why is Baraka the smartest of the bad guys?
Baraka goes, I have a dream that Tarkatans and Earth-Realmians can live together in peace.
Dude, you're joking here. It is genuinely played as that. Because now they're like saying Shao Kahn has always treated the Tarkatans as kind of a slave warrior race. And how Kitana and Kotal get Baraka, as they say, from now on the Tarkatans will be treated as equals, and Baraka will be there will always be a Tarkatan member of the Khan's court, starting with Baraka. So it's legitimately like they're getting rid of Shao Kahn's old racism. The Collector is also an amusing case. The Collector's people, which are like supposed to be the Nondins or something, they are also supposed to be like treated horribly racistly. And they're an impoverished class. Collector, on the other hand, takes an entirely different interpretation. Collector is an amusing character because he's such a shit person who steals and murders. But every time someone calls him out on it, his justification is, I grew up poor, and that's it. Collector, you ripped that guy's body apart and you put his head and his heart in your bag. Yeah, I grew up poor. Okay. Well, I guess that's one way to do it if no one's going to call you on it.
I didn't have these growing up. Just yanks heart out.
And the crazy thing is, Shao Kahn in the final fight whoops Kotal Khan's ass and genuinely breaks Kotal's spine.
Good.
Kotal doesn't die, but Kotal is now
paralyzed.
Yes, paralyzed. I was looking for a good word there. Which means
is he also the knight?
He's not going to
he's Oracle.
Oh yeah. So the crazy thing there is he then makes Kitana Khan. So, except for what happens in the ending, which I will not get around to saying, there are two Katanas. One is the Khan of Outworld, and one is the Empress of Hell. Kitana's doing well for herself in both lives.
Well, in one of them, she's dead, so...
Undead. Very, very angry undead. I'm kind of disappointed. They didn't put as much... I wish they would have put more emphasis on Liu Kang and Kitana being king and queen of hell, but I don't know. I thought it was a cool idea, but I can see where it becomes a problem. So, the big finale for this game, I should note. Like, other than that, I don't think a great deal of big stuff happens. The biggest thing that well, other than Frost reviving the Cyber Initiative and she becomes a cyborg and all that. And, Cyrax and Sector are in the game and you actually fight them, but they just have Triborg's old moveset. So even though it was so controversial with MKX, they did it again with MK11. Having NPCs be fought in the story mode. Ugh. Other than that, Future Scorpion just gets killed by Devora offhandedly. Legitimately, she just stabs him, and then Scorpion goes, "Oh, poison!" And then makes past Scorpion promise not to be a huge bitch like he was. And past Scorpion's like, okay. And that sucks. Because I actually really liked Scorpion's character development in the last two games.
Devora steps Scorpion. Scorpion goes, "Oh, bone-hurting juice."
No, Scorpion, after getting stabbed, Scorpion goes, "Oh no, now I have bonitis." And he just drops to the floor.
Yeah.
Ah.
No, he drops to the floor and then blows up into freaking MK3 chunks of meat.
And there's like 5 rib cages.
Yeah.
Oh man, Devora is 3 for 3 for killing fan favorites, by the way.
Devora shouldn't exist. As discussed previously by her bees.
I love Devora, but man, they are trying to lean as hard as possible into please hate her. It's like she killed Baraka and Melina in X. That was pretty bad. Now she fucking kills Scorpion, the guy who's on the cover of the game.
You know, I would tell them to give her a nick to make people hate them, but Futanari, people would just jerk off more.
Well, I mean, she's got those 4 tentacle dicks coming out of her back, so I mean, they don't really need to. Oh, man. And the ending of the game is they all stage a grand assault on the fortress in Hell to go kick Kronika's ass. Because apparently that's where she is, in Hell. I don't know. But they have a full-blown anime transformation. Because Raiden feels bad about evil King Liu Kang. And also feels bad about good Liu Kang. Good past Liu Kang, who's been tortured by evil King Liu Kang. So what Raiden does is, he merges all 3 of them together, him and the 2 Liu Kangs, and they become Fire God Liu Kang.
He should have turned them into Blaze.
No.
Circle back to Armageddon.
So Fire God Liu Kang, of course, wipes the floor with absolutely everybody, and, you know, Thor and Wakanda is everybody. He goes and he beats Kronika, but unfortunately he's too late. Kronika has reversed the time back to, like, pre-dinosaurs, pre-Big Bang, right?
Right.
And it is just Fire God Liu Kang, since he killed Kronika. And the ending
And Master Hand, Final Destination, no items.
Yeah. And the ending of the game is it's revealed that, like, Raiden's still alive, but, like, he splits off of Fire God Liu Kang, but leaves his god powers with Liu Kang, so now Raiden is still around, but he's mortal. And they specifically make a point of him saying no longer to call him Lord Raiden, now he's Raiden. And probably the weirdest thing I've ever seen in a Mortal Kombat game is Raiden without his lightning eyes. Raiden without his lightning eyes has got to be one of the weirdest things I've ever seen in this game. Because he just looks like a regular human wearing a hat now.
But yeah, so what you're telling me is that if the Grift is canon, then I don't need to buy Mortal Kombat anymore. All of my ways are dead.
It's possible that everything that happened in Mortal Kombat 11 isn't canon anymore, because now Liu Kang and Raiden have to rebuild the timeline by hand.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
So that's the thing. There's now a third fucking Mortal Kombat timeline. Because 11's another reboot. It ends in another reboot.
But why?
Well, now they're writing it. Well, I think part of the thing is they want best of both worlds after they kind of shot themselves in the foot with 9 Sindellining. We all knew that, but seriously. And then some people didn't like the Combat Kids in X, so I guess they were trying to do something about them.
So MK12 will feature the guest character, Hannah Montana.
I don't see why you even brought that up, man. What
Best
connection?
of both worlds. Best of both worlds. Because she's got the best of both worlds. She can recount the show. Or whatever the hell the other one was. I forgot. Oh, you're right. Did you fall again? Well then,
So, anyways, they're now writing themselves into an even bigger corner. Because here's the thing. If Liu Kang and Raiden are writing the timeline, why would Shao Kahn or Shinnok or Shang Tsung ever exist?
good question.
Yeah.
Uh, I guess what they could do is that because Liu Kang isn't a true god, he just got transformed into one by Raiden at one point. Instead of, him being eternal like Raiden, his power runs out at one point, and they only rebuild civilization until, like, say, I don't know, bloody village state. So they can't really help at the point of Quan Chi and all that.
Well, I
Like
mean,
that's the best explanation I can come up with.
the thing is, anyone can use Kronika's hourglass. As is becoming a controversy right now, Jax uses it in his ending to go back in time
Oh,
and
yeah.
prevent slavery from happening and create world peace, which is a controversy somehow.
I mean, I don't know how just ending slavery could achieve world peace, but
Well,
otherwise, yeah.
it's outright stated Jax had to go back and forth several times. So Jax was a busy
Okay,
guy.
yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that's all right then. Yeah, I don't see the controversy then.
I'm imagining like Adolf Hitler gets rejected from art school and the idea starts to formulate in his head. Jax just appears and gotcha grabs him, right? Picks him up by the neck and beats his head in.
No, Jax goes back in time, goes to be a part of the freaking entrance committee for the Vienna Art University or whatever the hell, and he accepts Hitler to prevent the World War.
He goes back. He gotcha grabs the art professor instead.
Yeah.
In front of Hitler, and Hitler's just like, what the hell was that? Somebody get the number on that semi that hit me? And the other controversies with the game, just to hit them real quick, just because. So the first controversy is the microtransaction controversy, which, as it turns out, is mostly built off of assumptions. Because the only things you can buy with the microtransaction bucks are, let's see, match skips for towers, easy fatalities, which are dumb. Seriously, can you not be bothered to hit right down right B? Is it that hard?
Though I've never used those in X, so
Yeah, why would you ever use the easy fatalities? Part of the fun of Mortal Kombat is memorizing the fatalities.
I don't just mean the fatalities. I mean the match skips as well. I think I have like 30 of them piled up.
Yeah. And the thing is, Mortal Kombat X didn't give out easy fatalities and match skips for free. Mortal Kombat 11 does. There are rewards for towers now. So you're going to build up an even bigger stockpile. Why would you ever buy them? The other thing is that there is a rotating selection of 5 items that can be bought. And it's like 3 costumes and like 1 brutality. And it can just be bought with microtransaction bucks. Problem being, everything they offer in the shop can not only be unlocked through playing the game yourself, but because it's a rotating selection and it's completely random, you're never going to get what you want.
Yeah.
And it's much, much easier to just let the AI grind for you. And other than that, you can't buy anything with microtransactions. The game's got more of a grind problem than a microtransaction problem. And even the grind problem is being a bit overblown, I'd say. Because accessing go ahead.
People don't care about the grind anymore because everything's an RPG. I'm the only one who is bothered by grinding.
It's solved by the dumbest solution. You can just have the AI play the game for you and grind for you.
But imagine if you didn't even have to do that.
Yeah,
Imagine a world.
that's what
with no
Brian said
issue.
on the forum was, okay, at this point, why not just cut out the fucking middleman and give the rewards direct? At this point, why do I just have to leave the game running for 10 hours to let the thing happen? Other than just to artificially run up my playtime, in case NetherRealm's collecting stats on that, and be like, hey, look, the average Mortal Kombat 11 player plays it for 150 hours.
Per day.
Yeah. The Towers of Time are very bad. I will say that. You have to have the AI play it, because the AI in Mortal Kombat 11 is unstoppable. In Injustice 2, the AI kind of sucked. You remember that, Pink?
I do.
So there were a lot of times where you'd let them play through most of the matches, but then there was stuff where they just couldn't pull it off, and you had to take over. Mortal Kombat 11, it's the opposite. It's like, I'll play Mortal Kombat 11 for a little bit, and then you get to a match where it's like, alright, so you gotta fight Scarlet. She will try to zone you out as much as possible. She has super armor on every move. Her attacks deal poison damage. Cyrax is constantly launching bombs onto the field. Sector is constantly launching rockets onto the field. And also she can call in, Aaron Black to shoot at you with his rifle. At which point it's like, yeah, fuck that. I'm gonna let the AI handle that.
Also, the floor is lava and the sky is sharks.
Yeah.
The sky is sharks.
It becomes a game of Frogger at that point. And the crypt is not nearly as bad as people are making it out to be. The problem people have with the crypt is that outside of specific chests, like the Shao Kahn chests, every chest, the location is randomized. Not not its contents. They just set out like a table of, there'll be one chest that contains 3 easy fatalities. There'll be one chest that contains a Jade costume and a Jade boomerang. There'll be one chest that contains a Raiden costume. And then they made it where they're all randomly placed. So at first people thought the chests, genuinely their contents were randomly generated. They are not. They are just randomly placed throughout the map. But it's, at the end of the day, a person who finishes the crypt, 2 people who finish the crypt, every chest would be different, but at the end of the day they're going to end up with the exact same loot they got. It's a weird choice. It's a choice they very clearly made to stop people just going online and reading what chests to open and what chests to leave closed. I don't know why they did that, because, I mean, it's a classic crypt thing. I don't know. But the crypt grind is not bad at all. I only had the Switch game for, within 2 or 3 days of having the Switch game, I got a third of all chests in the crypt. It's not bad at all. And the last controversy is, conveniently enough, what I talked about at the end of last podcast, would you believe it or not. So you remember how I mentioned that in Mortal Kombat 9, every woman is a stripper?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it turns out some people are angry they can't jerk off to the characters in this game. They can't jerk off to the characters in this game.
Too bad for them.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Jade is wearing mostly clothes instead of simply having a strap over her nipples. It's the end of the world.
What will people do now that they can jerk themselves off to freaking Tanya? They will have to go. They will have to go and look up freaking Neat and Nuwa.
Yeah.
That's on their step.
Can't be bothered, man. And like I gotta say, like, some of the female characters have really cool. Okay, Mortal Kombat 11 overall is doing very good in the character. Mortal Kombat 11 overall is doing very good in the character. Help me, Spotify, Discord, Jesus.
Spotify. Yeah, help me, Spotify. Quickly play the Mulan soundtrack.
Help me, Spotify, quickly play Despacito.
Yeah.
A lot of the designs are really good. I love it for all characters. The fact that you can change the skins, and you can, since it's using the variation system, you can change the default skins for the character, so you don't even have to bother with going into the costume menu. If I just want to go with young Johnny, who is shirtless and got Cage tattooed across his chest like a jackass, I can. So, it's a good fucking game, with a lot of nonsense controversy surrounding it. Because, like, we got one where it's like, this would be justified if it were true. And then we've got two that are just, why?
Why is ending slavery a bad thing to you?
My God, this game has clothed women in the end of slavery. It's the end of the world. I'm just imagining, like, comic book guy from Simpsons shaking his fist.
Cover your children's eyes. They must not see this heresy.
It's just Jackie Briggs and nothing else on screen, and they're like, oh!
Yeah.
Boys, I think we can call that a podcast.
Sounds good.
All right.
Addie, you want to go ahead and say bye? And I'm ready to wait on this one, because I've got Mortal Kombat
Bye.
11 sitting right... Okay, there we go.
Well then.
All right, I had it set up this time. I had something to do while I waited this time. And this time's the one you on point. Oh.
Of course.
They're all mixed up.
Ah,
The one you never expect.
you use... This is Mortal Kombat 11. It's about the neutral game, not the mix-up game, Addie. That's so last year. We'll see you later, folks.